Yeah. Hello! Hello everybody! How are we all doing? Am I live and am I loud? I hope so. I'm just doing a quick vocal check at the moment, making sure everybody can hear me. So just let me know real quick in the chat. I see a bunch of you guys and some familiar faces as well. It's great to see you all. I am once again in high definition. We got full 4K Gemini, unfortunately for you guys. No 3-frame drops and things like that going on. But hello everybody, how is everyone? So just real quick, am I coming through okay? Can you hear me? I'm not like accidentally muted or anything. And good, you heard the evil cackle. That's all right then. That's not an evil cackle. This is my happy face. I'm not plotting anything sinister. I'm not holding anything deep in the deep dark recesses of my psyche that I'm prepared to share with you all shortly. But yeah, and also you should be able to hear some background music as well, because I do have the incredible Little Nightmares track, or at least some of the OST playing in the background, by the talents of Tobias Lilja. Yeah, background is different. I fancied a bit of a change because I wanted to kind of make it my own, and after my most recent video I found myself like going back to a lot of my old roots when it comes to video aesthetic, as it were, you know, the whole red and blue side-by-side concept and all the rest of it. I really liked it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make something, so I made this, and I hope you guys like it. It's cool. I put Little Nightmares music to it also. But I'm going to say hi to everybody, or I'm going to try to keep up with chat today as best I can. Thank you all so much for popping in to see me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, if you know anyone that's going to benefit from this stream or would like to see it and is not a subscriber of mine, but they're into Little Nightmares, think about sharing this stream and let me know what you guys think as well by using the thumbs buttons down below. Preferably the upward facing one. Or you can just straight dislike me all the way to hell and crush me with the power of the algorithm. It's entirely your choice. I won't hold it against you. But I will. Hello everybody though. Cartwheels, hello. 1st of March, Little Nightmares stream, exactly. Yeah, we're into March. It's the 3rd month of 2025, and that takes us one step closer to the release date of Little Nightmares 3. Eagerly anticipated. Detective Gamer Treg. If there was a Hall of Mirrors, it could possibly be the center of the nowhere that connects all of the worlds. It could be. It could be like a nexus point, right? Like a nexus point where all of the mirrors are like intricately linked. That's actually something. There's a reason for that particular question, because I have been making notes. I have notes. I have certain things that I want to discuss in this stream with you all, because I have my own thoughts and theories. I've got a lot going on at the moment. Like I've done a lot of searching, a lot of combing through the trailers. I really appreciate you being here, Detective Gamer, by the way, because I noticed you in my comment section recently, and it's very kind of you to show up. I think you might have just discovered the channel recently, so it's really good to that you could catch me live. Hello, Tom Asher, what's up? How you doing, my brother? It's great to see you. Lucy, little Lucy Fur is in the building. How you doing, Lucy? Hope you're doing okay. What's up, Appleman? Just a bat pirate. That's a great name. Hello, you stinkies. Hello and welcome, foolish mortals, to another random live stream where I gasbag and chat and yap about Little Nightmares and the content found therein. Pay your due diligence. Everyone, Just Jord is in the building. I see you, my brother. It's great to see you, Just Jord, being blessed with he's come to see if I do it, right? So I caught Jord in the midst of making a theory. For those of you that don't know, and I know every single one of you does, but Just Jord is the Little Nightmares theorist that inspired me to become a Little Nightmares theorist. Like, I am here as a part of this community because of that guy. He's right there. And the other day I caught him in mid-stream, literally, and he was just going, theories, theories, theories. That's actually how we do it. That's how we go. People write to me all the time. They say, oh my God, Gemini, you have such insight. How do you come up with these theories? How do you think about it so deeply? I just do that. Just theories. Theories. People think I work out all day. I don't. I just sit there doing this. What's up? Hello, Alice Angel, 333, hello. What's up, Osama? Good to see you. Evan Robinson, hi. I read your comment recently. I was intrigued by your theory. I thought it was brilliant. I hope you got the little heart thing that I left on there that YouTube has me do. Well, let me do a little love heart to it, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, John paying me to theorize as well. Look at this guy. What an absolute legend you are. Thank you so much. That's humbling. That is really humbling, bro. Like literally the dude that I'm gonna cry on the internet. Don't do it, John. Don't do it. Don't chew me up like that. Thank you, my brother. That is so much appreciated. What a guy. Don't tell them how we do. I'm sorry, John. I've spilled it now. Everyone here, there's 30 people in here. They're all theorists now. They all have the insider knowledge. I've spilled the beans. That's it. I should have signed the NDA, but nah. Law and theories, exactly. What's up, Altac? Hello, welcome. What's up, JK Mal? How's it going, King? You doing all right? Mojo 2019. When can we expect new content about Little Nightmares 3? Pretty soon. Pretty goddamn soon. Dariana, ooh, he has notes. I do. I have notes. Sometimes I write stuff. Like, I have a little book and sometimes I write stuff in it. So, not very often. Well, actually, very often. I have a not at all shameless self-plug Gemini book, and in this I make notes on all of my theories. But it's full. It is currently full, but I kept it for old time's sake, and I've started a new book, and this one was bought for me by a friend, and I've only just got a chance to crack it open and get on with it. So I'm very happy with it. Hello, world. Yes, exactly. My goodness, just Jord in the building. Lost a Monster, hello, what's up? Glad to see you streaming again. It's good to be streaming again, Lost a Monster. It is absolutely great to be here. Also, I'm sorry if I keep looking away from you guys, because as I often make excuses in these chats, but my screen is here, and my camera is there, and if I'm watching anything, my chat is all the way over there on the other screen. So I have to lean all the way over here to see it, and then I'm off camera, and I'm an absolute amateur, and I'm too lazy to rejigger my setup. So please bear with me and appreciate my my noobness. Next production. Oh, Nate is in the building. How's it going, Nate? It's great to see you in the chat. What's going on? I have Step. Hello there. They have a theory antenna. We do. Theories. Spill them beans. The evil, what's up, the evil, and welcome to the chat. It's great to have some evil in here to balance things out. We may not be able to chat with a friend in online co-op for Little Nightmares 3, but we can call our friends on phones or media, which the director can't stop us. It's true. You know, they're trying to isolate us by forcing us into a place of insecurity where it's like you can't communicate with your partner. I'll just fire up a Discord call and I'll be like, yo, what's up, dude? Help me jump over this thing. Shoot the beetle! God damn it! Kill the thing! Jump! You're absolutely right. Oh, my dear. How are we doing, Gemini? I'm doing very well, Step. Thank you so much for asking. I feel great. I'm in a really good mood today. It's because it's kind of technically cheat day, even though I haven't cheated, but I got a chocolate bar. So I'm having a chocolate bar later on, and I have a nice big ice cold Coke Zero today because they ran out of cherry. But it's Coke Zero and it's delicious all the same. It's the first bit of sugar I've had in like 3 weeks. So forgive me if I seem a bit rattled. My prediction might be correct on March the 22nd for a final trailer. Wouldn't that be cool if you called it to the day? I sincerely hope that you're right, Nate. I really do. These braces are doing your head in. Ah, Mal, that sucks. I know a few people that have had braces. A friend of mine is actually wearing braces right now. In fact, I've got another friend. She's a bit older though. She has, I'll say a bit older. She's only like 25, but she's using Invisalign. And they're a type of they're a type of braces, I suppose. Like it's a dental treatment that you can have, and it costs thousands of pounds, but it straightens out your teeth. Maybe I could get it done, and maybe I won't look like a freaking minion. Little bit of nightmares. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. It's great to see you. I can never go that long without sugar. I have to. Sadly, I have to because I am old enough to. I am so old at the moment that if I have too much sugar, I gain weight. You guys are likely safe. You know, like when I was a kid, I would just consume like endless amounts of sugar. Just tons and tons of sugar, sweets and ice cream and candy of all descriptions, and I wouldn't really gain any weight, and it was wonderful because I had a wicked high metabolism and I was super active. I would run everywhere all the time, like parkour. I literally did parkour, but parkour, gymnastics, breakdancing, martial arts. I was like a hyperactive individual. So when I was eating all this sugar, I was just immediately burning it off. But now I'm an old man and I spend most of my time in this room at this desk sitting in this chair. So if I consume too much sugar, I just get fat. That's why I had to stop eating all them lollipops. That'll be a 2-day late birthday gift. Oh, really? 20th? So your birthday's coming up, Step. Well, hopefully I'll get to say happy birthday to you closer to the time, but if not, happy birthday month? Question mark? We're only just into March, so, but either way, I hope you have a fantastic day. Little Bit Nightmares says, do you think the co-op will have to be from the start of the game, or if we can just invite someone to a game, or if we... That's interesting. I think that because Bandai made both, as you just expressed, I do think they'll give us the option so that somebody can jump in mid-game, because there will be the AI option. So I think you'll be playing along with an AI partner, but then if like you're able to invite someone to the game, like it'll be a part of the pause menu, I suspect. You'll be able to just pause and invite a friend and, you know, link it up to Steam or PlayStation or whatever it is you're playing on. And you can work it from there. I imagine you will be able to invite somebody mid-game. I hope you can anyway, because that would make for much more fluid gameplay. Just in case, you know, you can invite someone to play. But I feel like it would just be a bit more seamless if you could like pick it up and put it down as you please, instead of having to like organise an actual collaboration between you and a friend at any given time. We need Little Nightmares customized notebooks. I've seen them, Dariana. I actually seen them on. They weren't official or anything. I think they were like a they were like a Funky Pigeon kind of thing, where it's somebody had them made, and it was really cool. They were really nice. One of them had mono, the other had 6, and they were really nice. I nearly bought them actually. I can't remember why I didn't. Bro, I thought your teeth were relatively straight, not gonna lie. No, I'm not even close. I'm from Britain, dude. I'm from Britain. We don't have braces here. We don't even have toothbrushes. That's why I can't have too much sugar, because my teeth will literally rot out of my skull. But thank you. No, I'm aware of the fact that I look like a minion. My teeth are in very poor condition, sadly. I do take care of them, I really do. It's just I have unfortunately got a so my what are they called? Wisdom teeth. Now, that was hard to think of. Wisdom teeth at the back unfortunately grew disformed, so they're supposed to grow up into your jaw, but because I have a slender jaw, mine grew that way, and because they grew that way, as they've grown, they've pushed the rest of my teeth inwards and like crushed them together into like a pyramid. It really hurts and it bleeds all the time, and I have to get an operation to get them removed. But because I live in the UK, we don't have dental here, and it's not covered on the US. It's not covered on the NHS or anything. So if I want the surgery done to have those teeth removed and have this straightened out, it'd cost me like a year's wages. I just can't afford it. It's that simple. So it's just like, I'll just live with it. It's fine. I'll just never open my mouth. There's only 12 months in a year, so the game has to come out no later than midsummer time. Well, hopefully there's so Nate, the only issue is like, I would like to agree with you, but they technically have until December 31st. And they're entitled to, because they've given us a release date of 2025, they're entitled to use the entire year. Like, the entire year. So they can do whatever they want with it, if they please. I really hope that you're right, because I do think they've had ample time to create something of substance now, and I really do feel like the game will be in its like closing stages of development at this point. So I do think they're going to have like a pretty close to finished product, you know, like pretty well polished and everything. But there's nothing stopping them from utilizing the rest of the year, and they do technically have like 9 months left. So I wouldn't get my hopes up on an early release. But you could be right. A mid-year release would be very pleasant and not implausible at all. So yeah, Mr. Tibbs is in the building. What's up, Mr. Tibbs? How's it going, brother? My friend Mr. Tibbs is on the road to 75 subscribers. He's currently got 71. Makes Resident Evil content. It's damn good as well. Guy's really funny. I did a collaboration with him recently over on the Notorious Bases channel. It's not up just yet, but it's in the works. You guys might want to check that out if you like listening to me gasbag. Apart from this time, I would be talking about Resident Evil rather than Little Nightmares. But I'm going to be talking about Little Nightmares right here on this channel today, because I have very much to discuss. Very much to discuss. I'm going to get into that soon, actually. I won't keep you guys waiting too much, but there is some things that I would like to open into discussion. Yes, happy birthday month, Step. Hey Gemini, I texted Fipsy to come watch, but he may not be able to come to it. Yeah, it's totally cool. I understand. Fipsy actually reached out to me and he let me know that he's got a lot of studying to do. He has a lot of exams and everything like that. And I say this to everyone, each and every one of you, who, and I get this a lot, people will apologise and say, I'm sorry I missed your stream, I was studying. Sorry I missed your stream, I was at school. It's fine. It really is. The stream will go to VOD afterwards. It's absolutely fine. If you really want to watch it, you can watch it there and then afterwards. I'm sorry that you can't make it, but I 100% understand. You should, every time without fail, prioritise your education over watching me gasbag about and yap about Little Nightmares. Your education should come first, your work should come first. You've got to prioritise in life, and that's just the way it is. And with Fipsy being at that like a really foundational stage in his life where his studies are really going to matter, then yeah, if he has the choice between listening to me yap or studying, he needs to be studying, and I would appreciate it if he was. Like, if he says, I don't expect him to reach out to me and say, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I expect him to say, I was studying, so shush. Because he's taking his education seriously, as should each and every one of you. The crazy YouTuber. Hope not. Wait, what did I miss? I think Little Nightmares 3 will take 12 hours to complete. Good lord, I hope not. Imagine that if you did it as like a game jam. Jord, that's something you should do. You should try and like create Little Nightmares 3 in 24 hours and see how close you can get. see what we end up. I think that would be an absolute gem to play. I'd love that. That'd be really funny. Apparently this is the birthday month for everyone, including mine. Cannot wait, honestly, just infinite sweets. Well, I'm really happy it's your birthday as well. It's not my birthday, but happy birthday, Mal. Well, a happy birthday month at least. I have one actually with a drawing of Monument 6 with a drawing between them of 675% evil drawn. Hard to explain, but I like it though. Also got another one with pics of the games on the cover. That sounds awesome, Step. Where did you get that from? The notebook. Yeah, exactly. No time. John doesn't like dentists. I don't like. We're British. We don't like dentists here. It's weird as well because controversially, I love the dentist. I really like visiting the dentist because something I've always been really insecure of is my teeth, because it seems to be the one thing I can't do anything about. Like, if I don't like my facial hair, I'll shave. If I don't like my haircut, I'll get it chopped. I'll get it styled. If I don't like my physique, I'll work out. I'll train. There's a whole bunch of other things I could do. If worse come to worse, I could wear makeup. But the one thing I've never been able to take care of is my teeth. So, it's just purely because it's cost so much money to do. So, if I ever get the opportunity to go to the dentist, I do. But it's very rare that I do because I can very rarely afford it. I only go to the dentist if I'm in like real pain. And I've been at that point where it's like you can't sleep. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you're tossing and turning, it's making you ill. It's like it's really detrimental to you, like not only your like physical health, but your mental health as well, to be in that much pain all the time. You know, I've literally been sitting there under the stairs with a pair of pliers and a screwdriver thinking, yep, this is a good option. So yeah, like clean your teeth, guys. Seriously. I wish I did more when I was young. There were multiple articles saying there will be 6 chapters and about 9 to 11 hours of gameplay. That would be awesome. I really hope so. I got my dental plan free. Maybe that's just because I live in Scotland. I think it's free because our taxes are a lot high. Potentially, yeah. It might be different in Scotland. I'm not sure. Anybody else who's from Scotland, if there's any other Scots in the chat, by all means let me know if that's correct, because I might go to Scotland and get my work done. Osama, every time I make an investigation about the nowhere, they soon become one of them, like the residents. Exactly. I feel like if I spent any much more time in there, I would just become a guest. I just know me, I'd just waddle onto the moor and be like, feed me. Hello Abyss, how's it going? It's great to see you in the chat. I haven't seen you in a live stream for a while. What's up, Francis? Hello, my brother. Finally arrived on my channel, I see. Thought I'd come by and chill with y'all. It's a weekend off. Hey, well, I'm really happy for you. You're not planning any more ice fishing. 73 subs, Tibbs. 73. 2 more till you get to your goal, my brother. Mr. Tibbs is doing a giveaway as well, guys, by the way. I've seen the prize, it's awesome. But don't bother entering, I'm gonna win. I'm only joking. Am I joking? Or am I deadly serious? I really want it. I really want it. It's a really good prize. Dennis Veins, I was literally watching a video of you and then saw you were live. Oh, that's awesome. I'm really glad you stopped in to say hi. Welcome to the stream. And I hope you were enjoying the video. Which video were you watching, out of curiosity? Gemini is top priority. Like, I love how you guys are a total cult and you're just like, yeah, screw education, screw like phoning in sick from work. Like, yeah, boss, I'm afraid I can't make it in today. Yeah, Gemini stream. Yeah, I'm glad you understand. Thank you. Yeah, Gemini says you have to let me watch the stream and give me the day off school or he's going to eat your dreams. I'll do it. The Supervisor kind of reminds me of The Demon Dentist, if you read that book. I haven't read that book, but it kind of reminds me of the old Goosebumps books, because they are like awesome titles like that, like The Haunted Mask and Monster Blood. I used to love those books, they were awesome. Gemini, are you not the Supervisor? Well, I might be. You don't know how many arms I've got under my dress. There is no A level in Little Nightmares lore. You're dead right. There isn't either. Like, literally everything, even as theorists, I think the game devs would just give us a straight F. Almost at my 800 sub milestone. Hey, Step, well done. That's a massive milestone. 800 subs is really high. I'm really proud of you. 5 more. So close. You could be there by the end of the stream. You genuinely could be there by the end of the stream. Anybody that wants to support my good friend Step, feel free to pop over to his channel, check out what he's doing, and subscribe. Let's see if we can get him to that goal today. After my stream. Don't take my viewers. Step, if you start taking my viewers, I swear. I'll bite you and you'll get some kind of infection off my freaky teeth. I got it for Christmas, don't know, AliExpress, but it's all good. It's all good. Gotta take care of my teeth now that I break. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. See, braces make it really difficult to take care of your teeth as well. I'm not British, and not even I like going to the dentist. Yeah, there's, you know, I'm surprised that there hasn't been a dentist character in Little Nightmares. It does stand to reason that we would see one at some point. Not in Little Nightmares 3, I don't think. Because it's very close to the Doctor. You know, so having a dentist and a doctor, but it does play very well into like childhood fears, but just like fears in general. It's usually a fear that's established in childhood because usually as a kid you have worse teeth than when you grow up because you consume more sugar and more hard candies and stuff like that. You do more damage to your teeth, you look after them less. So naturally you go to the dentist, you need work doing, so they drill, they poke, they inject you, and you develop a fear of that over time. So you don't want to go to the dentist. So it makes sense that you know, if you were to find a dentist's office in the Little Nightmares universe, in the nowhere, it would be highly unpleasant. I think there was a really good concept actually drawn up by Tarsier Studios for the City of Metronome, the early Tarsier Studios game. It was never released, sadly, but there was some development in it, and and some of the artwork can be found in Little Nightmares. In fact, the first scene, when you wake up as Six in the suitcase, there's two pictures, like two photographs stuck to the inside of the suitcase, and one of them is the cover art for the City of Metronome. And if you were to zoom in on it, it's just the one character in a hat with a pointy nose, and he's holding something, and there's a window behind him, and that window is to a dentist. Yeah, look it up, it's true. Scots arise! Freedom! I've got a Scottish friend who says I do a very bad Scottish accent. She hates it when I do it. But I think it's funny. And you can't tell me it's not great. I think I do a good Scottish accent. But now that I'm hearing it, it sounds a bit off. What do you think? Is this an alright Scottish accent? Or would I get my head kicked in? I want a spin-off of Sounds of Nightmares. I need more Otto. Nobody needs more Otto, Simon Russell. And welcome to the stream. How's Maddie? How's Maddie and Kingsley? I hope they're doing okay. It's great to see you in the stream, Si. Fun fact, I've had 6 teeth removed on the NHS. Cost around £1,000. Ain't worth it. Cheaper to clean them. Exactly. Thank you, Just George, for backing me up. It's ridiculous. The price tags on it are stupid. You pay a lot of money to be in a lot of pain. For God's sake, just clean your teeth. Gemini is a Little Nightmares kid. Legion as a resident guest, as a boss dentist. Do you think I would be the dentist? But that's my thing. I've got awful teeth, so I just go around pulling the teeth out of youthful exuberance that I can just stick into my own maw. That'd be awesome. That's actually really cool. I love that concept. Wait, I need to read your name. Thank you so much. Dariana, thank you so much for that. That's brilliant. I'm gonna draw that. Idiotic bookworm, 100% what happened. Yep, that's it. That's it. You and I have the same level of cryptic writing. Do we? I hope so. I hope so. I hope I can keep up with you. TV show and stream on laptop next day. Yeah, exactly. Multitask. And we're all very highly intelligent individuals here. We're capable of multiple things. You got the chips ready and everything. Yeah, just brush your teeth afterwards. Oh man, I miss the Goosebumps books. Oh my god, Goosebumps! Actually bought chips for the stream. Well, I'm glad I inspired you to purchase chips. Or anything else. Has to come out in May or June. I hope you're right, Nate. I really do. I hope it's June because that's my birthday. And that'll be awesome. Abyss is almost at 150. Again, you can nearly... Yeah, I think you can get there. I do think you can get there, Abyss. Altac, I don't get it. A toothbrush and toothpaste isn't really expensive here in Europe, if that's what you mean. No. The toothbrush and toothpaste aren't the problem. It's the dental treatment. So, like, we brush our teeth here in the UK. Like, that's the, you know, I know it's like a bit of a meme, like British people never brush their teeth. Some of them don't. Trust me, I live in a hellhole, and I know very few people that have all their own teeth. But, the issue isn't with cleaning our teeth, it's getting them professionally maintained, because you can only do so much in your own bathroom with a brush and some paste, but if you need like constant checks, constant like professional cleans and other stuff like that, like actual upkeep, you have to pay for it, and it's really, really expensive. Like if I wanted to just go into my dentist and get my teeth cleaned and polished professionally, it cost me like an entire day's wage. And given the area I live in and the amount of money I make, it's just not feasible to do that on a regular basis. And if you, like George said, you know, if you need teeth removing or you need anything like I had a root canal done. So one of my back teeth has a porcelain crown, okay? So they started by giving me an x-ray and a checkup and everything like that, so they added that cost on. Then they performed a root canal treatment, and then they gave me a porcelain cap. And that treatment altogether cost me £1,600. £1,600 to work on one tooth. They saved the tooth and it's great, and it has been for like the better part of a decade now. That was like 10 years ago. And it's still great. Still in really good condition. Touch wood, it'll stay that way. They did a great job, but I would expect they would for like £1,600. That's a lot of money, or at least it is to me. I don't know how rich some of you guys are, but for me, £1,600 is a lot more than I can typically afford. Ooh. I miss the day that I played Little Nightmares 2 and hearing the music. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah. I played Little Nightmares 2 the other day while I was collecting some footage for my latest theory video, and I found myself just having fun. I was just exploring some of the areas and having loads of fun with it, like trolling the teacher and stuff like that. I was having such a blast with it that I kind of forgot what I was doing. I ended up with like a 40-minute video when really I was just looking for one clip. I was looking for one particular clip of the Thin Man, and I ended up playing around in the school for like an hour. Are you going to play Little Bartmares? Not likely. I did think it was great. I watched it on Jord's channel, just Jord played it recently. I watched him do it. It was hilarious. It looked great. It's a lot of fun. And then I know Markiplier played it recently as well. I haven't watched Mark play it. I intend to, but I don't have a lot of time. But yeah, I don't think I'll play it for myself. But if you guys are interested in Little Bartmares, check it out on Jord's channel. It's hysterical, it really is. Hello, Chuchi's World. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but I'm going to try and read your messages either way. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac. Now you're just making me hungry. God damn it. I know it's cheat day, but I can't go that far. But hello and welcome to the stream. I'm glad you can make it. Thank you for your generous contribution. Now my stomach's growling. God damn it, now I want a cheeseburger. I have fangs for teeth like a vampire for some reason. Maybe it's because you're a bat pirate. That might be it. What's up, my dudes? Mr. Tibbs and Gemini. After the stream, I'm going to the Captain America Brave New World. Nice one. Good. I'm probably do some ice fishing. Of course, you're doing ice fishing next Saturday. Yeah, let me know what you think of the new Captain America movie. I'm not going to bother watching it, I don't think. I sort of fell out of love with Marvel a little recently. Well, not recently, but after... basically after Endgame, I feel like Marvel took a real downturn and just got real, like, nah, you know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know what you guys think. Don't let me influence that, because, you know, you like what you like and you're entitled to do so, but... Oh, shoot, my chat just shot up. I think it turned slow mode on by itself, and now I've just clicked off, it's just gone whack. Oh, now I don't have enough memory to open the page. I hope I'm still live, but right now I have no chat. Please bear with me while I reload my chat. There it is. You guys still exist. Oh, not enough memory to load page. Wow. Wow. Paid all of it. I pay more for my PC than most people pay for their cars, and it doesn't have enough memory to maintain my chat. God damn it, I'm a professional YouTuber, guys, honestly. Where was I? Nice background playlist. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I sadly can't hear it. That's one of the only negatives to having this backing screen, is the fact that while I have the music, I can't hear it while I'm live. It doesn't play. I mean, it would, but if it did, it'd bleed through my mic and you guys would get an echo, and that's just not fair. It's a poor viewer experience. And I don't necessarily need the backing track to enjoy being live. It's more for you than it is for me. I did it for you. See how thoughtful I am. I saw the theory antenna tune there. The theory antenna, is that what we're calling that? John's theory antenna. Theories. John, you've unlocked the superpower. That's your new thing. The theory antenna. Excellent. Crowface guy with the hat. Ew, more Otto. I know, right? What was Cyrus thinking? City and Metronome looked beautiful though, very much like Little... Yeah, it did. It had a very Little Nightmares aesthetic. I feel like a lot of Tarsier games would do. Obviously, Reanimal carries a very Little Nightmares aesthetic, but I don't think it's necessarily a Little Nightmares aesthetic. I think it's a Tarsier aesthetic, because until they created Little Nightmares in the first place, I'd never seen anything like it. Unless you count Limbo. Or what was the other one? Inside. Because I know they were inspired by Limbo and Inside, but the gameplay style I still found wildly different, especially to Limbo. I didn't play Inside, but I played Limbo. But yeah, I consider that more of a Tarsier style than anything. But these days it's hard to differentiate, so now it's like, to me, I just call it like a Little Nightmares style. You know, I would like, if you play a Souls-like game, it's like, you know, because it's like Dark Souls. Well, Little Nightmares has got the same kind of thing. So like that city, what was that game? It was great. Hall of the Mountain King. No, it was called Bramble. The song in it was called Hall of the Mountain King. But the game was called Bramble. And my friend sent it to me, and he was like, I thought you'd like this because it's like Little Nightmares. By that he meant, you know, the aesthetic of the game was similar to Little Nightmares. And it's funny how like Little Nightmares has become its own genre almost in a weird kind of way. The City of Metronome was the beginning of Little Nightmares games, and the evidence is that... Yeah, exactly. That. Yep, you see. I think I said that earlier, Osama, actually. I don't think you were here then, but I did actually mention exactly that. Just beating Little Nightmares 3, my grandma, she was alone while I was low. Well, however you got early access, Dennis Vanes, you be sure to let me know, because I would love to play. Gemini the Teeth Thief. Teeth Thief. That was very British. I thought you said Gemini the Tooth Fairy at first. I was like, well, I don't know. Too much auto with episode 5 and 6. Yeah, I know, right, yeah. Alex the Frog, hello and happy Mash. The first of my fellow Eastern Europeans, Ramadan back to Muslims in the chat. Indeed, yeah. Indeed. Everything he said. And welcome, Alex the Frog. Still don't know who's Otto's sister. We still don't know the girl who called CC is actually 6. And we still don't have any clues. You are correct. There's a lot we don't know. But I like that. I think that adds to the mystique. Would you say that the kids we're playing in Little Nightmares are visitors like Noon was, or children residents who are permanently trapped? I think they're visitors. I think they're all visitors. But I think they can become permanently trapped. I think there is always a way out. I think there is an escape, but they can become permanently trapped if they lose hope. I think if they lose the will to survive, they become consumed by it, like Mono did when he became the Thin Man in the Signal Tower. You know, it trapped him in there, and he sort of lost his will to survive, lost his will to escape, sort of thing. It kind of beat him, it trapped him. Or like when children die in the nowhere, you know, like they get captured by the residents or whatever. They sort of like lose the fight, as it were. I think you can die in the nowhere, and I think you can be permanently trapped in nowhere. But I don't know what it would. I don't know what it would entail. I don't know if it means that they become residents, or you know, if they all develop into bosses of their own description. I don't know if that's what the residents are. In fact, that's a question that I wanted to put to you guys. I'm just going to read a few more of these comments, and then I do have a question for you that I've been thinking about for a little while. And I'd love to get your opinions on. I have an opinion. I'm going to try and reserve it for a future theory video, but I would really like your opinions on this question I have to ask regarding that. But for now, I'm just going to cover a little bit more of this chat. Fire Fun Time, hello and welcome. Curious to know what the secret is. Oh, and you should be. You should be, because it's something cool. It's something cool. It's something that it's weirdly enough, it might not be that much of a secret to you guys. If I reveal it today, it might not be as mind blowing as you think, because if you've been in this chat before, I have mentioned it. I have mentioned this particular secret before, but I wasn't certain of it. Like, it was just sort of a passing theory that I had, like, months and months and months ago. It was like, yeah, you know, maybe this could be the case. It turns out I was right. Or at least I am 99% certain that I was right. And I think I can prove it. I'm so sure. I am so sure. And if I'm wrong, I'll be, like, wildly perturbed if I'm wrong. And it might not blow your mind exactly, but I think you'll find it really interesting. And really funny as well. It's surprisingly funny, as far as Little Nightmares theories go. Especially considering its accuracy. It's like, it's one of the funniest things. It's like, the one thing that you wouldn't expect, it's like the most hilarious, you know, like if I was to create a video and say this is the most ridiculous Little Nightmares theory because it's like almost comedic in its value, but it's actually right, like it's actually true, or at least I think it is. Like, it's when I make theory videos, they are exactly that. They're always theory videos. They're always just speculation and purely that, because I know as much as you guys do. I have been privy to exactly the same thing you guys do. I don't work for Bandai. I haven't got any, like, secret access. I have never been privy to any leaks or anything like that, or anything sus, sadly. But I think it would hurt the franchise if I did. And if I was, I would have to sign NDAs anyway, so I wouldn't be able to disclose any information that I did discover. However, some of the things that I found out, in fact, of all the things that I've theorized about, and contemplated, it's always had like a kind of dark connotation to it and a sinister undertone. This one was just like a really funny thing that I said in passing, that I thought, wouldn't it be funny if this? And after doing a little bit more research on the matter, it turns out it is funny, but it's also true. It's like, well, okay then, fair enough. Did you get to leave a question on Will Horror Games Award about Little Nightmares, the planned interview with Dave Mervick? No, but I did listen to a couple of interviews with Mr. Mervick, because his insights have been fundamental. No, that's not the word. What is the word? Instrumental in my crafting of certain theories, because obviously there is no better place to go than this source. So if I was to talk to creative director Dave Mervick and he was to give me some information, then I could say to you guys with certainty that, you know, this is an answer. But that in that case, I wouldn't necessarily be giving you Little Nightmares theories as Little Nightmares facts. And I don't know if they're better, because theories are fun, right? We like theories and speculations, and they're fun and they're a laugh. But observations and facts, and I could give you, like, you know, 100 facts about Little Nightmares, and it might be an entertaining video, but I don't think it'd bring you any value in that it wouldn't be anything you don't already know. Because all of you, particularly you guys in general, are avid Little Nightmares fans like myself. So I don't think I'd be able to tell you a lot that you don't know already at this point. But with speculation and theories, it's all stuff that comes straight out of my mind. You know, when I've theories. So when I come up with these theories, I get to put them on paper and then pitch them to yourselves. And I can sit in the knowledge that there's a good chance you might not have thought of it, at least from that perspective. But if I'm just giving you Little Nightmares facts, then if you've played the game, you likely already know. So I don't know if you guys would enjoy if I did like 10 things you didn't know about 6, or like 10 things you probably didn't know about 6, but most of you guys probably did know them things about 6. So, you know, I might just be opening myself up for a load of hate in the comments where it's like, you named this video 10 things I don't know about 6 and I knew everything you said. And I'm like, well, okay, sorry. I'm trying here. Perhaps we could have a Little Nightmares... Sorry, I'm reading this wrong, crazy YouTuber. Perhaps we could have, for Little Nightmares future games, a homeless man with pale white skin and a white beard, soulless black eyes, and a wide grin with black bouts and gloves and a green jacket. Are you thinking of... You're thinking of a Father Christmas style enemy, aren't you? You're thinking of a traditional Father Christmas style enemy. That's why you put him in green. But yeah, that would be really spooky. His soulless black eyes would be made of coal, right? You're the most British person ever. Thank you? Question mark? I don't know if that's good. Usually we don't have that good a reputation. Maybe Noon, like the children that the ferryman take them in order to... Yeah, exactly. It could be that the other children were taken by the ferryman and they were pulled away from a potentially worse life than they have in nowhere. Attack. I've saved $260. I'm 15. I don't know what to do with it because I already have everything I need. What should I do with it? You should save it. You should save it until you do need it, because I promise you a time will come when you need it. And it's always tempting when you have a big chunk of money just sitting there that you don't actively have to spend. It's tempting to just buy something for fun, just for the sake of I can have it. You know, you could walk into pretty much any store and buy anything you want for $260. You know, you could buy, I don't know what you could get, like a PS5, a mobile phone, a new pair of sneakers. I don't know, but the temptation is there, and that's the problem. But a time will come where that money will be important to you, and it's definitely worth saving it. I would stash it. If I had $260 just sitting there in a big fat wedge that I didn't have to spend, it would either be in my safe downstairs, or it would be in the bank gathering interest, because eventually I'm going to fall on tough times. Like, somebody will need help, or I'll find a reason to travel, or you know, Little Nightmares 3 will come out and I'll have to buy it, and I'll need the money at the time, and if I spend the money now, I won't have the money then. Stuff like that. There will be a reason. Save it, honestly. Don't look for an excuse to spend money that you don't have to. If you don't have to spend it, good, because the more you can save up for a rainy day, the better. Look after it. I've replayed Little Nightmares 2 1,000 times and somehow it never gets to... Oh no, heaven, right? It's like, it is literally just the embodiment of a perfect game. I don't get tired of it. It's so much fun. I was playing it on stream last time I was here, just having a wild time with it. It's great. It's such a good game from so many facets, and like, I can't get bored of it. Gemini, did you know that on the shore after the Hunter's boss fight, you can splash on the water, dive there, drown, and leave little footprints? I didn't know you could dive. I knew about the footprints and I knew you could drown, but I didn't know you could dive. Well, I know you can dive, like you can jump in the water, but I don't think you can get back out. But that's awesome and a really good observation, Dariana. I love doing stuff like that. This is the thing, when I play the game, that's what I do. I like to experiment and stuff and play around with what the characters can do and what happens. Horror Fan Zero, I'm not kidding, I had the same idea for the dentist with him sticking people's teeth in his mouth. Also, my idea was having his long tool machines, I don't know what they're called, sticking out of his back. Ooh, that'd be kind of grim. But it would be a cool way for him to carry them. You know, like he'll have, you know, his dentist drill hooked up to a power pack that he carries on his side or something like that. That would be awesome. Ooh, I'm planning on making 2 fan-made Little Nightmares games in the future. I'm wondering if anyone else in the chat is planning one too. I know that somebody is. I know that a couple of people are, actually, because I know I am, I know the Oldest Nightmare is, and if Just George's still here, I know he is also. Crazy YouTuber, I'd be intrigued to see what you're planning. Is there any reveal on what characters your Little Nightmares game is going to surround? Like, who's going to be the playable character? Would you reveal that to us? Horror Fan, I'm not kidding. Oh, sorry, I've already read that one. Plasmatic, endgame really was the endgame. Yeah, legitimately. I feel exactly the same. Oh, there we go. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm so far behind on chat. Sorry, I keep thinking I'm getting quite close, so I slow down, and then I try scrolling, and it just goes... God damn you, slow mode. I think that the lady, when she was a kid, was in the spiral, or at least in the area with the baby monster mech. That's where she lived before taking over the building or the mall. Do you think so? Do you think that's why the baby... do you think that's why the eyes on the mall are similar to the one that we find in the monster baby? Mr. Job made a video about if the residents escaped the nowhere and the ferryman took children to safety to the nowhere, like Davy Jones' locker where people try. Right, okay. Let me ask you guys this. Just before we go on, I would like to ask you guys something. Okay, so bear with me. I'm just going to do a super quick, scan of this. Hello, Amir. Ramadan Mubarak. Hello. Sorry, I'm just skim reading now. If we don't see the ferryman in Little Nightmares 3, I'm going to do 7 backflips landing on my head every time. Can't be eating that ram. Actually, no, honestly. I should maybe I should switch to Opera GX browser. I will if they sponsor me. Good old cheeseburger. Damn right. Should definitely play Silt. That's one I'll have to bear in mind, actually. Silt. Just, John, can you use your theory antenna to find a release of Little Nightmares 3? I have a theory that Bandai date leaks were true, and with a delay, I think that we could be looking a little after Q2 in 2025. Q2 is April, June. Ooh, Just Jord is on. Just Jord is on it. He's dialed in, guys. The theory antenna himself. See you later, Abyss. Sorry, I probably missed your British XL. Yeah, Bramble, Dark, Dreamworld. Yeah. White Shadows, Sea of... Oh, White Shadows. That was another one that looked really good. Yeah, White Shadows. Thank you, Dariana, for reminding me of White Shadows. That looked cool. It's got a limbo sort of aesthetic, but the character looks more like Low. What do we think of the Little Nightmares 3 post of Bandai? The one with with the umbrella. I have no idea. I did have a play with it. I messed with the contrast and the brightness and stuff to see if I could spot anything unusual, but I didn't see anything. Shows your forehead. I thought my forehead was big enough. It's more like a 5 head. CC is Raincoat Girl, I believe. Yeah, I think that. I actually made a theory on that called the flashlight theory. I'm calling the supervisor Barbara. Amir, I can see that Low and Alone will find a way to escape, but it's allowed only for one person. We'll end up fighting each other and Low will lose. I hope they don't end up fighting each other. It's an absolute possibility. I really hope not, because it would be devastating. I do feel like I did actually speculate on that they will find a way to escape, but only one of them will be able to actually get out. I feel like that's a representation of their names, prophetically speaking, from an onomastic perspective, but I'm not entirely certain. But check out that theory video if you want to know my thoughts. I don't think they'll fight necessarily, but I do think there'll be a reason for only one of them escaping. I can't eat. I eat, sleep, and drink Little Nightmares. Gemini, send help. Oh wait, don't. I love the exactly. No, I'm not sending help. When will you start the theory? Well, I actually have a couple of notes here, and I'm going to ask you guys a question right now. Consider this. Those of you that listen to the Sounds of Nightmares will remember in episode 6, The Lonely Way. Otto loses Noon to the nowhere. The ferryman takes her there. And when Otto talks to the ferryman, he converses with him very briefly. And the ferryman says that he's too long in the tooth. But he also says this. He's taking Noon, but he won't take Otto, because Otto is an adult, too long in the tooth. That's what he means by it. He's too long in the tooth, he's too far gone. He also says, a toe dipped, but to plunge, you must be pushed. He said, I feed the spectrum's other end. Now, if by the spectrum, he means the nowhere, like, the spectrum that is the nowhere, he implies that there's 2 ways to enter. One way in for children by way of the ferryman being ferried there, and another way in for adults who have to be pushed in order to plunge. If the ferryman feeds one end of the spectrum where the children go in, who feeds the other? who feeds the spectrum's other end? And could the other end be how the residents come to be? And if so, who's responsible for it? Are there two ferrymen or two types of ferryman? Maybe it might not necessarily be called the ferryman. It might be called something completely different. I think it is. I think it'll be called something like the Alpha or something like that. And it's like the the creature with all the eyes. Or at least a physical representation of the creature with all the eyes that makes up the signal tower, and potentially other structures like the maw and the nest, and things like that. And I think that gives life to the residents by bringing in corrupted adults from the real world, from its side of the spectrum. What do you guys think? Because I found myself pondering on this, and I think it would be a really cool topic to explore. If the ferryman feeds the spectrum's end, where the children, the visitors, are brought into the nowhere, who feeds the other one? What entity feeds the spectrum's other end, opposite to the ferryman? The one where those long in the tooth, like Otto, can gain access to the nowhere and become residents within it. What do you think? Love to know your thoughts on that, because I've been considering it for a little while. I intend to make a theory video about it. I do have some little bits of evidence, but nothing of major substance. So it's something that I feel like if we discuss, I might find some enlightenment and be able to create a video for you guys. But let's talk. Go right ahead. Meanwhile, I'm going to get back to reading some of your comments. There were applications and 2 projects coming, like Just George said. Season 2 could be a part of those. Indeed, he certainly could. I think he's absolutely right. George is usually on the money anyway, like I say. If George said it, it's canon. What if we faced a resident that floats around T-posing after our protagonist? That'd be terrifying, wouldn't it? Fairies, fairies. There is more of this world than meets the eye. Yep. Yeah, I 100% agree. There's a Little Nightmares game with a Krampus-like enemy. I did, Ariana. I did think of a Krampus-like enemy. When I was creating a theory around Christmas time, I considered it. I actually asked about it at the end of that theory video that I made. I said that you guys, what would you guys think of like a Santa Claus or Krampus type enemy? And some of you guys thought it was brilliant. I thought it'd be really funny, or a lot of fun to conceptualize and see. I actually drew up. Well, I'm in the process of drawing up a monster concept that's very similar to that, because it's partially based on the original Krampus design, but a lot of twists. Like you won't even recognize it as Krampus by the time I'm done with it. But those of you that see the upcoming video regarding the matter, you'll get it. You'll know what I mean. Brits are contagious. We are. Well, no, chat. Stop. Ugh. I'm not saying you stop, by the way, chat. I'm saying stop. It's auto-scrolling again. Where are we? I'm American, right? Most people say I have a southern accent as well. I speak to you. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, I'm British. Most people don't understand half of the things I say. I say tea and biscuits. And I call chips crisps and crisps chips. Or crisps fries. Sorry, chips fries. I got 2 fan games on the go. Oh, George, you do? Yeah, he's absolutely right. Sorry, I've just misspoke. Yeah, George actually has 2 fan games on the go already. George, do a game jam. Do a 24-hour game jam. I want to see you make a Little Nightmares, like a Little Nightmares fan game within 24 hours and see what legendary product you come up with. I think it would be hilarious. Just playing through and like, let me go in and debug it. Let me be the first one to play test it. I'll do it on the channel. It'll be hysterical. Me too, dude. Always looking for glitches and bugs. Exactly. Oldest Nightmare. Yes. Oldest Nightmare mentioned. Yes. Yeah, if Mr. Tibbs, sorry, yeah, just to give him a little shout out, if Mr. Tibbs gets to 75 subscribers before June 9th, he's doing a giveaway, and it's a spectacular prize. Plus Plasmatic says, I still think The Residence is my favourite level in the series for its haunted, ethereal kind of theme and the lore stuff in it. That's actually really cool because I feel like The Residence is, it almost doesn't match the general aesthetic of the Nowhere because it's uncharacteristically comfortable. You know, nice beds, nice wallpaper, the pictures on the walls and the adequate lighting and stuff like that. You can tell someone of importance lives there. You know, the fairly well-kept library and everything like that. It's a surprising area, but yeah, absolutely. I think the Shadow Kids sort of add to that aspect really well as well. They're an enemy that I often neglect to think about. I don't consider the Shadow Kids enough. Maybe I should ponder on them a little bit more. What do you guys think? Should I consider the Shadow Kids in further depth? Altac, so hear me out about the Hunter. People I know got really disappointed by that chapter because the Hunter was not that scary. He's too much human-like compared to the others that look twisted and off. You know, right, I think the idea of the Hunter... Okay, so here's what I think about the Hunter. I think the Hunter is a really scary concept because he's a pursuer enemy. He's like always around. Much like Mr. X in Resident Evil. He's always like lurking in the background. After we happen across him the first time, he's always there. Like you're pretty much always in danger when the Hunter's around, and I think that's what gives him presence. Not necessarily his aesthetic or his look. I do think the original design for the Hunter looked better, but here's what I think happened to the Hunter's design. I think it was changed from a game development perspective. I think the original Hunter, and I'm basing this off some of the artworks that I've seen from the early development process, I think the original Hunter had the Doctor's face. I think he was drawn as the Doctor. I don't think he had a mask. And when they came up with the concept of the Doctor and started screwing around with, you know, the idea of him hanging from the ceilings, the levels being designed upside down, his face being distorted by gravity, they figured that the design for the Hunter, that face would match better aesthetically with the Doctor. But then they were like, well, what are we going to do with the Hunter? How should he look? And rather than change his entire look and his face, they just put a mask over him. Like, not out of laziness or anything like that, but because it adds an air of mystique to the character that raises a lot of questions. And I think it was quite a good choice. But at least that's my take, and I feel like it was purely a developmental standpoint. I don't think there was like a choice for him to change it because they didn't want him to look scary or because they wanted to give him a more humanoid appearance. I think they wanted to add an air of mystique without losing some of the fear factor of his actual persona. But I'm not sure. Again, we're all just theorising. I don't know anything about that for certain, but I'm just considering it like that. What's up, Puppy Queen? How you doing? It's great to see you in the chat. Do you think we could see other children in Little Nightmares 3 like how we saw them in Little Nightmares 1? Yeah, I absolutely do. I don't know who or what or where, but there could be some background characters for certain. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Also, are you also going to play and theorise about Reanimal? Because I'm very curious. Yes, Dennis, I absolutely intend to play and theorise about Reanimal. I haven't been following it as closely as I perhaps should, because Little Nightmares is my bread and butter. Always has been, probably always will be. But I'm definitely going to play Reanimal, and there will be, like, there is potential for a lot of theories to come afterwards. I don't want to hop on the bandwagon with it too much because I feel like I'll be taking too much on, like, you know, trying to juggle too many things at a time. As you know, theories take a long time to come up with and draw out and script and annotate and all the rest of it. I don't want to keep you guys waiting forever, and if I'm trying to focus on like more than one game at once, my brain might explode. I'm not quite as skilled as Just Jord. I can't balance this stuff like he can. But yeah, I absolutely will. I'll definitely play it on the channel at the very least. And I'm pretty sure that if it has any kind of impact on me like Little Nightmares did, which I'm certain it will, then I have no doubt that I'll be coming up with some theories about it that you might find interesting. But you guys, we can't forget about Very Little Nightmares. The game holds many answers. We don't pay enough attention to PLM1. I think there should be much... Yes, I absolutely agree. I'm very interested. In fact, I'm interested in the Nest in general. But of all the characters that we come across, I'm most interested in the Butler. the butler's story intrigues me because there are answers to be found there. I think there's a lot of digging to do, and I don't know how canon it is or how we could link it in, but I am going to think about it because the butler is my favourite character from Very Little Nightmares, and I think his story holds some like deep, intricate mysteries. The fact that his hands are bound and he has superpowers, you know, just generally, like, he is wicked powerful, like unreasonably powerful, even while his hands are bound. But we find the key. We find the key to his chains in the end of the game in a cave off to the left-hand side, just as we leave the property. And I'd be really interested to see what an unchained butler would be capable of and who he really is. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Step. Loads and loads to be considered about Very Little Nightmares indeed. More's a 50-50 chance. Potentially, Altac, potentially. I agree with Crazy YouTuber. It could be like 50-50. But I think if we do go back to the Maw, I think that we will find the Maw crashed. I think we'll find it beached. Like, so it's like Six took over the Maw, and it's just been like run aground kind of thing. We find it toppled onto its side on the beach somewhere. Even if we don't actually get to go into the Maw, it'll probably be in the background, like just buried halfway into the sand or something like that in the distance. Idiotic Bookworm says, not really a game, but a fictional podcast like Sounds of Nightmares. I really recommend the Magnus Archives and Malevolent. Interesting. And thank you for your recommendation. Malevolent. I think I've heard of Malevolent before. Going off Sounds of Nightmares, if the funfair is the same one from Sounds of Nightmares and we could possibly see the kids perform. Yes, I did actually think that. I speculated on it in a very early theory video. Not in any depth or anything like that, much like you've just done now. I'm just like, yeah, we could potentially see Rusty and the other performing kids maybe escaping from the big top. Maybe they could even, if this is the way it's going to work and if it ties into the Sounds of Nightmares in the same time frame as Noon was visiting, maybe we will have to work around their escape. So maybe the circus performing children making their escape from the big top will serve as a distraction for the puppet and the purple suited man and his little dummy. Will be distracted by the kids escaping, and we'll be able to like navigate the big top around them or something like that. That would add an air of tension and give us a nice throwback to the Sounds of Nightmares and tie it in. I think that could be really cool. Altac, I think we knew what the Maw really is. I think that we need to find an answer for a question. Who built the signal tower? Osama. I don't think anyone built the signal tower. I think the signal tower is a living entity, an embodiment of the Pale City itself. I think that it's a creature. I think that the signal tower is a monster of its own accord. And I think that it's got like a reality bending power, so that it can shape itself using the memories of those who find themselves trapped within it. That's why when we go in there as Six, and well, when Six is trapped in it, we walk in and we find bits just scattered and floating around, but it's all stuff that we've seen before, distorted imagery of toys that she's played with, pictures she's seen, or, things from her past, her present, and her future, all just scattered around the signal tower. It plays off her psyche and warps it. But I think that, and then you notice when they're making their escape, it starts to fall down. It starts to crumble. Because when Six breaks free of her monster form after Mono smashes the music box and severs her ties to the signal tower, it starts to collapse upon itself without a host. I think it's a living entity. I think it built itself and it exists because it has somebody's psyche to build it. I think that the Nowhere in its entirety works like that. I think the Maw works like that. I think the Maw is another one. I think the Maw is a big jellyfish monster. It just takes the shape of a massive like restaurant/hotel kind of thing, because it's given form by Six. and by the people that are trapped within it, because there's a lot of children trapped inside the maw, and it's become like a prison. Or at least that's how I think it works. Again, entirely speculation. I might be totally wrong, but that's what I believe. Giacomo says the signal tower just puffed into the nowhere because there's a need for escapism, like for the maw. No one built it, it just exists because hunger. Yeah, exactly, and the developers did actually state that as well. The maw exists because the hunger exists, and the need for escapism is what gives the Pale City life. It's another thing, like, I believe that Little Nightmares is based, like the Nowhere is based in a nightmare realm, because our nightmares are given form by what exists within our minds. That's why you can't have a nightmare or you can't have a dream about something you've never experienced, at least on some level. But you can warp it and distort it and change it in your mind. But if you if a blind person if a person born blind was to dream, they'll dream in darkness because they have no imagery to reflect it off. So their nightmares will be consistent of sounds that they've heard. So if a blind person was to have a bad dream, their dreams would be a manifestation of sounds that they've heard that they found particularly disturbing or unpleasant. Much like the Nowhere is given form and made to look unpleasant by, the visualizations that are shared in the minds of the children visiting. Mirror Man could feed the resident's door into the Nowhere. Yes, I think so as well. Mirror Man could be a very, very good call. And that is another reason for the poll that you guys probably see above there, where I have speculated, could we see a hall of mirrors in the carnival? And if we do, could the Mirror Man, or at least whatever entity we're seeing in the mirrors in Little Nightmares 3's trailer, could that creature be what feeds the spectrum's other end? The one that brings the residents into the Nowhere? Could the mirrors be how the residents arrive into the Nowhere? Could that be also why there was an emphasis on mirrors in the Sounds of Nightmares in Otto's office? And in the Sounds of Nightmares Season 2, if we continue with Otto's story, do you think that he will discover that the mirror gives him access to the Nowhere, by experimenting on Ethan, his newest subject? Fear, right? Otto needs fear. Is that what pushes you? Fear? Potentially. It could be fear. It could be a number of things, Step. It could be a number of different things. All the ferryman said was, in order to plunge, you must be pushed. So I don't know if they're like now with children. I think it could be fear, or it could be desperation, because obviously it's a world of nightmares. The residents, though, or at least if adults need access to the Nowhere, could it be something else? Could it be more literal? Okay. Ooh, I've just thought of a really dark concept. Ooh. Not going to say that live because I don't want to get demonetized. But let's just put it this way, and you guys will probably pick it up. In the new comic series, Descent to Nowhere, we've seen a couple of pages of it so far, and there is an adult, a detective, a woman. She's a detective, she's a grown woman. She wants to access the Nowhere. Or at least it's sort of like, implied that she needs to access the Nowhere, or will need to access the Nowhere at some point or another. Maybe she's already been, maybe she needs to find a way back. And the first depiction we've ever seen of her is when she's standing on a bridge. She's standing on a bridge, she's overlooking water. She's overlooking a body of water, standing on a bridge, and there are footsteps approaching behind her. To plunge, you must be pushed. Get it? What if that's the way adults enter the Nowhere? if they're driven to that level of desperation? Could that be what gives them entry? I don't know. That's literally just come to me now, and I'm going to have to really break that down and consider it on a much, from a much broader perspective, and I'm probably clutching at straws, but just thinking about that is kind of like, could it be? And what would control that? If that was the case, who would she meet? Would it be the Mirror Man, as Jord thinks right here? It could be possible. It could be questionable. But inside the Signal Tower, we saw the future of Monster 6 and the dark side of 6, and those transformations still made me nervous. Yeah, absolutely. And they should. Or the North Wind. Yeah, North Wind is another good choice that would be really funny. Not really funny. Would play really well. Damn it, scrolling. The lady. Ooh, the lady. See, I know that there has been some implication with regard to the lady because of the monster baby's eye, and then the mirror having the black smoke and stuff like that, and the lady having the power to normify the children as well, like having the seeming control. The lady would be really good. Dentist. Dariana really wants to see the dentist do that. I absolutely agree with this theory. I actually have thought about it before. I feel like Otto is going to end up finding his way into the nowhere. Maybe it's through some entity that we haven't seen. I hope so. I feel like it's a really good theory about the Candleman. Do you have any candidates of who the second one is, or is it just a carbon copy? I don't think it'll be a carbon copy. I think it will be something new. I think it'll be something different. It'll be a different type of ferryman. It's something else. And it might even go the opposite way. Let's think about this. Right, because I did consider this, and this is just a throwaway theory, and it's very random. I might expand on it more in a future theory video, but consider this. The action of entering the nowhere for the children is sinking deeper. This is sink lower, plunge, descend to nowhere. All of that implying that in order to get to the nowhere, you have to travel down. Yeah? You're constantly travelling downwards. And the ferryman talks about sinking into tideless waters. And his name, the ferryman, is like, I know it's implied that he ferries people across the water in a boat. So it's like you sink into the waters of the nowhere. But what if the spectrum's other end, to access the other end and get out, you've got to go up. Like, you have to climb, you have to rise, you have to fly. And in Very Little Nightmares, we were in a hot air balloon. It crashed into the nest, but we were in a hot air balloon going up. What if Cece is the girl in the yellow raincoat, like I suspected initially, and she knows this? After being trapped there for so long, she knows that the only way to escape the nowhere is to travel upwards. So she got in a hot air balloon, floats up, crashes into the nest, meets her demise at the hands of the Pretender. And maybe the entity that controls the other side is the picture of the man we saw in the nest. The one in the top hat with the weather balloon, with the helium balloon. Hot air balloon. God, I will get there eventually if I can articulate properly. And the big fat guy with the swollen eyes and the top hat, he looks important, and there's a hot air balloon in the background. What if he is the counterpart to the ferryman that feeds the spectrum's other end? What if? Just a theory. A game theory. What do we think, guys? Am I onto something, or is that just bull? Oh, we are probably getting Lorna Lone plushies. I hope so, puppy. I really do. I would love them very, very much. I haven't got any plushies for Little Nightmares. Fear could open the threshold. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe that is the key. I guess I wasn't around here by the terms of that theory. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's not an entity, but fear itself. Oh, I see. Like the very concept of fear. Not an entity, but just the actual concept of fear itself, with no corporeal manifestation. Interesting theory, Step. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Yeah, quite right. Quite right. It's like I heard a similar anecdote made about butterfly children. I watched a documentary before about a hospital. They used to take care of what was known as butterfly children. These days there's a lot more known about the condition, but it's children who suffer from brittle bone disease. They're also known as butterfly children, and they're notoriously aggressive. They're like really violently angry all the time, but it's not because they're bad kids, it's because they're in constant pain all the time. Imagine if every time you move you break a bone, like you turn over in your sleep, you fracture your elbow. You know, you're going down the stairs too quickly, you fracture your ankle. Imagine being in that much pain all the time. You know, they would lash out at doctors because the doctors, especially back then, the treatments for them were really rudimentary. And because of that, there was a lot of pain, a lot of rough housing, a lot like the medication and the anesthetics and things like that weren't necessarily very effective, and the treatments were almost barbaric. Like they'd put them in like, you know, metal casts and like full body casts, and they'd be like really uncomfortable and forced to stay in one position so they couldn't move, and make them really irritable, and they'd just be like really, really angry all the time. So you're right, pain leads to rage. Otto Kershaw. What did I miss? Not very much, Hussein. Not very much. Hussein. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but hello and welcome to the stream. You just missed me yapping, but I'm gonna continue to yap for the next like hour or so, so don't worry too much. Theory. Francis knows what to do. Theories. That'd be great. First language is Spanish, and I have friends saying I sound like BMO from Adventure Time. I can't do a Spanish accent. I won't even insult your dialect by trying. But your English is exceptionally good. You missed the explanation of the meaning of life, the supervisor's real name, chicken nuggies, etc. Yeah, I just covered some of the basics, you know, the meaning of life, space-time continuum, quantum theory, that sort of thing. Shadow Kids are very forgettable. Yeah, this is the thing. I feel like they were made more forgettable. I think it's because they were like DLC. Almost like they were an afterthought kind of thing. I do think they have substance. I do think there's something to them, and especially now that we've seen Law wears a mask. I think there's some random connotation in there, but I'm not sure. The man Just George says the hunter is the scariest because he's like... Yeah, see, right? That's actually interesting. Consider that, guys. These characters, we find them unsettling because they're pseudo-humanoid. They're not human. They look human. They act human, but they're not quite right. Their movements are janky and sporadic. They don't blink. They wear masks. They're hiding something. There's always something off about them, and that's what makes them really weird. The hunter is the most human out of all of them because he understands, at least from my perspective, the hunter understands the danger of the Pale City and the signal tower and the televisions, which is why he disposed of his own television in the woods. We find it miles out in the woods. He doesn't have a TV. He doesn't keep electronics in the house. At least none with a screen. And he's committed himself to a lifestyle off-grid. He is effectively the most human and the least corrupt out of all of them. And doesn't that, by extension, make him more unsettling? The fact that he has this mindset where he can literally just go and point-blank gun down children in the woods without the influence of the signal tower. That's how screwed up human beings actually are in desperation. Yeah, I've seen enough documentaries about like what happens to human beings when they're put under extreme stress, and it is terrifying what people, actual human people, are capable of doing to one another in real life situations. Eating chicken nuggies right now. Look at you! Be careful, everyone. The nightmares are coming in Game of Thrones instead of dead are coming. In my opinion, nightmares are coming. Tom Asher. When the kids get turned into gnomes, they get taken by the nowhere when they're too young. So their childhood has to go somewhere. That's what the shadow kids are. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting, because we can assume that the shadow kids are formed from the lady's power, but so are the gnomes. So how and why? Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, shadow kids must have a purpose. Yeah, exactly. Now that's really cool, Tom. I like that one. Tom Asher, thank you for that. That's giving me food for thought. Absolutely. Hunter is the most unique resident because he's normal, just like a skillful gunner instead of having a power or default. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't seem to have any special powers necessarily. Maybe there's a trauma entity for the adults, like on the Smile movie. Yeah, actually, yeah. Trauma, fear, like a lot of different concepts there that could work. What's funny is that my mom hasn't played the DLC yet, but I've shown her Little Nightmares music videos and she found the Shadow Kids terrifying. Yeah, some people do. I remember when I first played the DLC, I found them really unnerving because they're so fast. Like, they were so quick, and there was some play like with the patients. I didn't expect the patients to move as quickly as they do, but when that initial light goes off, I was sort of stood there like, is he going to move? And then it just started like click, click, click like that, and I'm just like, haha, look at this goofball, and then you just oh no, back. Who's your favourite Gemini, Law or Alone? I don't want to answer that until I've actually played the game, because I can't really decide at the moment. I think they're both adorable and they both have a lot of character, and I think it's really cool. I'm gravitating more towards Alone at the moment, but I don't know if that's just because of the familiarity with walking along with a big wrench. I am very interested to play as Law so that I can discover more about him and his character. I think his character is more interesting. And I think that the mechanics are going to be more interesting as well, because he has a bow, like he has a ranged attack, as it were, which is going to add a new mechanic to the game, which we've not really been privy to before. But I think there's a comfortable familiarity with Alone's gameplay style and character design that I just gravitate a little bit more towards. So for now, I feel like I'm leaning more towards Alone, but I don't want to say with concrete certainty that she's definitely my favourite out of the two until I've had a chance to experience both characters firsthand. Oh, the fact that the Shadow Kids are titled Masked Remains in the OST, in the Little Nightmares 2 we have Glitched Remains. It must be related. Oh, Plasmatic, you know, theories. This guy is onto something. That has some very valuable connotations. Jord, isn't that good? What do you think of that? I think just Jord would appreciate that insight. That's really good. Very, very good theory crafting right there, and an excellent observation. Well done, Plasmatic. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I didn't know that. I hadn't even considered that. That is entirely new to me. Entirely new. Well done. It's very, very rare that we'll get conversations in here, because don't get me wrong, you guys have got awesome theories and thoughts and speculations and observations, but with me looking into this game as deeply as I do, it's rare that I see something that I haven't at least considered on some level from some angle. But that is entirely new to me. Entirely new. Well done, Plasmatic. New food for thought. New theory unlocked. Excellent. If I make a theory on that, I'm going to be sure to shout you out. Well done. Well done. Really good. I want to see the chef's return. I would love to see the third chef. So you guys who quick spoiler alert for my Little Nightmares speculative DLC. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Chapter 4. If you haven't watched it already, I created a small area that are based off existing work, as I often do, where we get to revisit the kitchen, but a different area of the kitchens that we don't get to explore in the game, but we know exists canonically, because we walk past it and we can see the silhouette of the chef working in it. But I invented the idea that the chef that we see working in there is not one of the chefs we're familiar with. It's the third chef that was cut from the game. the one that we didn't get to see, and I called him the head chef, and I speculated that he could be in there because he's working very closely with the guests in a VIP section, so he works on the more gourmet dishes, you know, your upper echelon of food that is that's produced on the mall. And maybe he's the one that works with the actual bodies of the children that are, you know, shipped in the body bags that we have Roger wrapping up. And yeah, I would absolutely love to see him in the game. Erin Cobb, I've been revising. What did I miss? I'm so glad, right, I know I've touched on this already, and I'm sorry for you guys that have been here from the start, and I keep going back to the fact that I'm really proud of anybody that's pursuing their education and things like that, because if you have a choice between sitting here and listening to me yap about Little Nightmares or getting educated, doing your homework and focusing on your future, do that. Do that, right? Because this will be a VOD and it will be openly available for everybody to watch after the stream is concluded, so you'll be able to chill out with this and read the comments. The chat will all still be there, and you'll be able to hear my thoughts and theories and read all of this chat from all of these wonderful people shortly afterwards at your own convenience. But do not compromise your education, your studies, your exams, or anything else in favour of my streams, please. And yeah, I'm really happy to hear that you've been studying there, Erin Cobb, and you haven't missed much, just me yapping. Mostly, there's been a couple of good thoughts and theories going on in here, actually. Also, if you guys haven't already, please drop me a little like on this video, or a dislike, whatever you prefer. I'm not fussy, and I'm not trying to pressure you or anything, but it would really help my, my little algorithm awareness thing, if you would like the stream. Please and thank you. Forcing my brother to play Reanimal with me? Yeah, do that. Ryoshi Geku, do you think we'll be able to see old characters? I don't, if I'm honest. I really don't. And I feel like that's because, and I know you want me to say yes, and trust me, I want nothing more than to say, yeah, we'll get all of them. There'll be cameos, and there'll be unlockables, and there'll be all... But I truly think from a developmental standpoint that Little Nightmares 3 is intentionally distancing itself from the existing storylines. I don't think that Six and Mono or Raincoat, Girl in the Raincoat or Runaway Kid, I don't think any of them are going to make a reappearance in Little Nightmares 3. I think if they do, it'll be a very brief cameo, like we might see a picture of one of them or something like that, or a drawing, like a sketch on a wall that remotely resembles Six in some way or something like that. But I don't think we're going to see returning characters, unfortunately. Maybe in future games or something like that, but for now I feel like Bandai and Supermassive are trying intentionally to move away from the existing games while maintaining the same aesthetic and give us something that's the same, you know, it's built in the same universe and we still be in love with it and we still process it the same way. But we don't necessarily associate it with the old game, so that like the new audience can come in and play Little Nightmares 3 without playing 1 and 2. So that it's an entirely new experience. At least that's my thought. I do hope we get to see old characters, but I really don't think we will, sadly. Imagine the butler being a powerful kid before. Yeah, exactly, yeah. What if the kids grow up to be, like, powerful adults, like Mono grew to be the Thin Man, and then Six being Monster Six, even. Even though that's... I know that's different, but still, seeing what the Nowhere does to people who spend a lot of time in it, it's interesting to think of if the butler was there before. You know, is this what he became? What's up? The Notorious Base is in the building. It's great to have your support, my brother. Thank you so much for being here. Notorious Base has been a great supporter of my channel for a really long time and a very close friend of mine in real life as well. This guy is literally my therapist. The guy is like he's my comfort animal. Notorious Base, thank you so much for showing up. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to your comment, my brother. I'm miles behind as I usually am. Forgive me. Yeah, Puppy's right, Ryoshi. Most likely not. We could see references like pictures or drawings. I don't think we'll see them physically. Puppy Queen is absolutely on the money, I think, there. Imagine now if alone Cece, because he left Otto, his brother, alone, noticed that maybe Cece felt relieved in the nowhere. Yeah, because Otto speculates at the end that, you know, he's like, Cece wouldn't have left me, would she? And he sort of has to question himself. He's like, would she have left me? Did she choose to go to the nowhere? Was she dragged there against her will as a prisoner? Or did she go willingly like Noon did? GRP Opov, hello and welcome to the stream. I'm so sorry it took me so long to get your comment. I'm trying to read all of them and address them respectfully while I'm still able to, but obviously there's a lot of you guys and not very many of me. I think there's only about 4 of us up here. So, forgive me for being late, but I hope you're at least enjoying me gas bagging and yapping about Little Nightmares for a little bit. If the more is hunger and the pale city is escapism, I believe the spiral is waste. How much we take for granted, for example, the Necropolis is a dead city. Yeah, exactly, like a living museum, isn't it, almost? Dreams and nightmares are interesting. I saw somewhere that apparently all faces you see in your dreams are ones that you've seen in your life before. Yeah, I know where you saw that. It was in my theory video. Which theory video was it? The dialect theory. In the dialect theory, I was doing some research on dreams because I, myself personally, have been I've been a participant in several sleep studies because I have I have 2 highly debilitating sleep conditions. I have chronic sleep apnea and I get chronic sleep paralysis. And they happen frequently, like very frequently, as in more than once every night. So I've been in hospitals where they'll hook me up to like nodes and stuff like that, and they'll study the way my brain works and look at it and tell me what lights up, test me on different medications and see what helps and what doesn't, blah blah. And in doing so, I've learned an awful lot about the functionality of nightmares and things like that. And something that I learned when I was studying the fact that you can't read in dreams is your neurological cognitive function is hindered by what you've actually seen in real life. So you cannot physically imagine a face that you've never seen before. What you're actually doing is putting together facial structures from faces you've already seen. I'll give you an example of why this is true. Do this right now with me. You ready? Imagine a colour that you've never seen before. Try. Can you imagine a colour? You know, just like get a blank piece of paper and imagine a colour that you've never seen. It's impossible, right? It doesn't matter how many times you do it, you can go over the entire spectrum. You can think, well, if I had, I could imagine a purple, or I've never seen this really, really dark purple, or you have. You have. On some level, you have. Somewhere, you have. Because you're able to imagine it. If you're able to imagine it, you've seen it before. And the brain work, not from a broader perspective, you're not able to imagine anything that you haven't seen before. That's why there's no such thing as it's very, very rare that you get an original idea, because everything, even the designs that you come up with, you make up a monster and it doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. You for the sake of plagiarism, you Google it, you look it up, you try and figure out if you've seen it before, if anyone's ever drawn it before, if anyone's came up with this idea, and they haven't. So it's entirely your idea. But the truth is, your one idea is a mixture of whatever other ideas you've seen. So if I was to create a monster, and it's just like it's a giant snake, but it's got loads of legs, like a centipede, then I know that I've seen a creature with loads of legs like a centipede, and I've seen a giant snake type monster. All I've done is blend those concepts together. And that's all you're doing with faces. When you dream about a person you've never seen before, you're not dreaming of a new person, you've just made one up, but by blending the faces of other people. It doesn't have to be 2, it can be 5 or 10 or 15 other people. I've got a great image, like a moving PNG, that warps images of people, where it keeps the same eyes for like a fraction of a second, and then they change, and then it keeps the same mouth for a fraction of a second, and it changes, and it just warps like that, and it gives you an idea. Anyway, that's that point explained. Sorry, I have a tendency to go way off. Right, where am I? Hello, Blobo. Welcome to the stream. I'm so sorry I'm miles away. And that's why the balloon! Exactly. Wait, that makes sense. Mind blown. Yay! Yay, I'm glad you guys like that theory. I like that all that explains the ruins of Baby, the factory of wasting candy. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. And the fun fair, all that talent wasted for others' entertainment. I've got something about the fun fair that you guys might find interesting in my naughty little notebook of secrets that I'll share very shortly, but I'm going to take a break in a minute. Hello, Loth. Sorry, I'm trying to say hello to the people that I haven't greeted yet because I'm miles behind on chat and people are going to think I'm really ignorant. You're to plunge, you must be pushed. Interpretation for being the case must be morbidly... morbidly metallic. I love that phrasing. Morbidly metallic for the series. Also explains the spectrum as well. We know that the children need to escape to nowhere. In its own way, the adults need to accept that. Yeah. There was the hanging man and a viewer's clothes hanging, so the Little Nightmares is no stranger to those kind of things. No, Little Nightmares absolutely isn't, but YouTube is. That's why I couldn't say out loud, the actual concept, because if I use the actual terminology, I might get in trouble. So I don't want to go getting there. I don't want to go. Not only just getting demonetized, but like YouTube can literally say like you no longer exist on this platform and poof me like Thanos snap me out of existence if I say the wrong thing at the wrong time, especially while I'm live on the internet with an audience watching me. So I don't want to go stepping on anyone's toes. Last thing I want to do is upset YouTube. Yeah, a little bit of nightmares, exactly. So there's like there is a lot of the like subliminal imagery and not so subtle imagery. When it comes to the game, they don't have to be too shy about it, and I know they explore the concept. But if I talk about that concept on YouTube, it'll flag, and I'll be like, "This guy's talking about that awful thing." And they might see me talking about that kind of thing as me promoting that sort of thing, and I don't think they need any justification to cancel my existence, so they can just wipe my channel off the map if they don't like what I said. So I'm just being careful, that's all. But you're absolutely right. Little Nightmares is under no illusions that it's a deep, dark, like chaotic, what's the word? Dystopia. It's not afraid of that sort of thing. That was the best Matt Pratt impression I've ever heard. Thank you, Maya. What do you think about, or do you think he's a bad guy and make children suffer only for trying to get his sister back? I think that he is heading that way. I don't think he was originally, but I feel like that's another interpretation of him being pushed. So you hear about people often being pushed to do awful things and becoming the bad guy from being pushed and pushed and pushed to a point where they just can't take it anymore. I watched an incredible movie before. What was it called? Oh, what was the movie called? It was so good. Oh, I can't remember. But there was a movie about a guy. He was an Irish fella. It was an Irish movie. And it was this one guy who was a journalist, went around like taking pictures and making stories to sell to a newspaper. Anyway, one day he's out on business, he's taking his photographs and things like that, and then on the way home he gets mugged. He gets attacked by a couple of guys, and they beat him up in an alleyway, and they castrate him. It's horrible, like it's brutal. They carve up his face, and they do a lot of damage to him, but he survives. But he goes on, but it traumatizes him. And it dehumanizes him, and it messes with his psyche, and he goes through so many different things. Like he goes into like recluse. He starts staying at home. He can't leave the house. He's afraid of everything, every little noise, every little sound. He can't perform with his girlfriend. He loses touch with his like sexuality and his romantic side. He breaks up with his girlfriend. He can't cope with the loss and the stress. He starts seeing a therapist. They dismiss him, like, oh, we can't help you. He tries to go to the gym, meets a bunch of guys, gets on some steroids. He starts taking drugs. It messes with his head, and he's such a lovely man. And he's so sad and he's so upset, but he's constantly pushed, and every time he makes an effort to do better, something comes in and steps on his toes and pushes him down, and it just keeps him on the ground to a point where he eventually loses his mind. He goes mad, and he's out, by the end of the movie, he goes out into the street with a screwdriver, and he finds the guy that castrated him, and he kills him with a flipping... he unalives him. There we go. That's me demonetized straight away. He friggin' unalives him with a screwdriver, and he gets arrested. And he's just like rocking back and forth like that. And it's like, but he's not the bad guy. He wasn't evil. He wasn't corrupt. He wasn't the villain. He was the victim. You know, and he was lashing out. And I'm not justifying his actions by any stretch, but you get to watch his slow, morbid deterioration where he becomes this psychopath. And it's really sad. And when I think of Otto, I feel like he's going kind of the same way, because when it opens, you sympathise with Otto. You're like, the poor man, he's lost his sister, and he really cares about the children. You know, refusing to refer to Noon by her patient number. Instead, choosing to ask her name, and a preferred name at that. You know, she says, don't call me Ruth, call me Noon. And he's like, okay, I'll call you Noon. And he does. Even though a patient number is 1224, and he's, you know, he has it dictated to him by his paperwork that that's who she is, she's just a number to him. But by the end of it, you know, he's gotten so desperate and so obsessed and so, like, you know, driven so close to the edge, he's been pushed so far that it's only a matter of time before he plunges, and maybe he just needs that extra little push to become the bad guy. But he didn't start that way, did he? Can confirm lucid dreaming can let you access a nowhere. Yeah, it absolutely can. I've done that before, and it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I still find it very difficult though. I can lucid dream. I've practiced it for a long time, but I find it exceedingly hard to do for some reason. I for some reason experience a lack of control in my dreams, even when I know I'm dreaming, and I think a lot of that's because when I become aware of the fact that I'm dreaming, my body wants to wake up, but physically I can't, and my brain gets trapped in a state of paralysis, and that's how I end up just getting stuck there in darkness. And because I'm panicking, I have no control over my imagination, so it renders my ability to lucid dream obsolete. Aaron Cobb. Oh, an unrelated topic, but have you or anyone here ever seen a new movie called Monkey? The Monkey. Seeing it tomorrow. No, I haven't seen The Monkey, but if anyone has, feel free to expand on that for Aaron Cobb. Fulcrum. Could be that top hat guy with the no eyes is the man in the purple suit. Purple suit is described as having no eyes, and the hot air balloon could have been from the Funfair Carnival, and he has a suit. Could be. I think the only argumentative factor I could bring up there, Fulcrum, is that the suit I don't think was purple. I think it was a black suit, but that could be retconned. I don't know for certain, but you're absolutely right on every other fact that you said just then. As a psychology student, I agree. I'm glad. Topic of Shadow Kids, did they attack adults too, or was it only the children? Well, we've only seen them attack children. I don't know if they attack adults, because we've never seen evidence of that, but interesting to consider though. Yeah, exactly, puppy, exactly. Feels like time flies. I literally remember saying, I wonder when Little Nightmares... Yeah, I know, right? I know. I watched my reaction video to the reveal of Little Nightmares 3. And it was that was back in 2023. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, please be early, because it said 2024. And I'm like, please be early 2024. And it's now like early 2025. And I'm still sitting here like, come on. Come on! Dog you, I think that it will probably come out between June to October. I really hope so. I sincerely hope it's in June, because that's near my birthday, and that would be a wonderful present for me. Yep, double checked it. Mask remains. Thank you, Plasmatic. Let's see. Hi, Gemini. Hi, #1 Bullies fan. Hello there, and welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could make it. Great to see you. The nowhere might be like the upside down from Stranger Things. Yeah, I thought of it like that. Kind of a similar, like, off-brand upside down. But yeah, they could absolutely affect one another in one way. Thanks for the support for the revision. Makes me feel better after it. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, trust me, I know. Revision is suffering. But suffering is not inconsequential. I suffer every day at the gym. And I think of it, I was literally at the gym earlier today and I wanted to cry because I was doing what's called drag curls, and they're a form of curl where the weight is pulling you all the way down. You have to pull and stretch the weight, like really force all of the blood into there. And by like the 12th rep, every part of your soul wants to drop that weight. But you know, if you do, you're only getting a partial rep. And if you don't, if you're not stimulating muscular hypertrophy to the fullest extent of the range of motion, you're not getting the best growth. So you have to knuckle down, you have to grit your teeth and bear it, because the thing is, I know that once I finish that rep, I'll have succeeded. And it's exactly the same with your studies. It sucks right now. It's painful to have to sit through sociology studies, or whatever studies. It can be any type of revision. It sucks. It's painful because you're trying to retain information and you don't want to because you're not really that interested in the subject, but you need it for the test. And you know, so it is painful to go through that method of education. But when you come out of that, when you come out of school, college, university, or wherever it might be, with grades and qualifications, those qualifications open so many doors. And it's great to have access to a lot of areas when you leave school, because if you don't, you find yourself at a lot of dead ends, knocking on a lot of doors that just get slammed in your face because you are underqualified for the position. Suffer now. It's worth suffering now. Like, I'm not saying that you have to torture yourself, but I'm saying that when you're going through something that makes you kind of unhappy and you're like, I really wish I didn't have to do this, you won't forever. Not if you do it now. Don't procrastinate. Get it done now. Focus, stay driven, find your motivation, and look forwards. Constantly look forwards. Try not to think about what you're doing in the moment. Think about why you're doing it and what it's gonna equate to. Because I freaking hate doing preacher curls. I can't stand doing preacher curls. It makes me feel sick doing preacher curls. But in June, I'm gonna do like a photo shoot, and in that photo shoot, I want to be jacked. I want to look amazing, and I will, because I'll have worked for it. And at that time, I won't be thinking about them preacher curls. I'll be reaping the benefits of those preacher curls. The same way when you get a job that pays 10 times more than my job does, it'll be because of the amount of time you put into your studies now that wasn't spent sitting there listening to me yap about Little Nightmares. Instead, you were focused, you were driven, and you were focusing on what matters. I'm playing alone. She's so cute, plus I feel like I relate to her more. Plus I feel more comfortable playing a female character personally. My mum's playing low because she's better using the bow. That's fair enough. And this is the whole point. I feel like a lot of the appeal in Little Nightmares characters is the fact that we find them all very relatable. And I think we find them relatable because we project our own personalities onto them. So if the fact that Alone is female, and that is something that you associate with yourself a lot more, then you can identify with Alone more, and it makes her a more relatable character, hence why you gravitate towards her. And that's beautiful, that makes sense, that's what Little Nightmares is supposed to do. That's why these characters are so lovable, because we're able to see ourselves in them. I think that's another big part of the reason why they don't speak, at least not in a coherent language. I think that's another reason why most of them hide their face. Six with her hood, Mono with his bag, Low with his mask, along with her goggles. You know, they all have obscurities. And that makes it all the more easy to imagine ourselves in these characters. It's very easy to picture yourself under that paper bag. The animations for the cutscenes we've seen so far in Little Nightmares are so good. The small details are lower. Yeah, absolutely. The personality between the characters is wonderful. I think it's exceptionally well done. If Gemini got 1 billion fans, most of us would become strangers. Well, yes and no, because if, like, and I don't see myself ever getting even remotely close to that level. I'm honestly happy where I am at the moment, because at least I'm able to keep up to some degree. But I don't think you guys would necessarily become strangers, because what you guys are, whether you realize it or not, and whether this channel succeeds or not, you know, in the long term, if I do end up with like 1 million, 1 billion, I'm using ridiculous figures, obviously, but say I get like a substantial number of people, like 100,000 subscribers, I would consider that massively successful for a channel in my niche. But I will remember you guys as being the foundation of my channel. You guys are what this entire channel is built off. I've spent the past 2 hours talking to you guys. It's literally just my face talking to you guys, having a conversation, and like not just getting to know you and the fandom and the community and things like that, but building this community and expanding. It gets bigger all the time, and that's why I do these streams, because even though I struggle to keep up now, I'll always try, and I will continue to try, but I'm not unaware. Like I'm under no illusions. If the channel had 100,000 subscribers and there was 1,000 of you guys in here asking me questions, I, as one man, physically wouldn't be able to keep up. I just couldn't do it. That doesn't mean I would just dismiss you and just be like, I'm too big to answer your questions now. Dismissed. It doesn't mean I wouldn't care. It would sadden me to know that I have so many people that want to talk to me that I can't address with the respect that they deserve. Which is why I'm doing this now. And I hope that each and every one of you guys recognize that this is me, this is how I operate, and this is how much I respect and value each and every one of you. To take the time to not only read your comments individually, but address them with respect and thought behind it. And that will always be the case. I'll always want to do this. And I'll always remember you guys as being my foundation. I'll never forget where I came from. If I ever make it, and that's a big if, a very big if I ever make it on YouTube, but I won't ever forget my roots. I know who you people are, and I recognise the names in this chat, and I try to communicate with you as best I can for this very reason. I know my foundational audience, and I recognise that without you I would be nothing. So whether I have the 6,000 subs that I've got now, or 600,000 subs in like 10 years time, or whatever it ends up being, I'll remember this, I'll remember you, and I'll be ever grateful for it. And I hope that if the time comes where I'm unable to keep up with chat and I can't always answer each and every one of your questions, you'll remember this conversation. You'll remember this me. And you'll be able to go back and look at this and think, this is a guy who cares about his audience, because I do. And I'm trying to show that by addressing these comments in the way I do. And I really, really hope that comes across, because you guys are invaluable to me. I get it, Gemini. I had around 5,000 subscribers on my main account. When I called out a YouTuber, she did horrible things. And when I exposed her, she terminated my... Yeah, that really sucks. Something similar happened to my... Savage! Yes, Notorious Bass! I'm sorry, but Savage, that movie I talked about with the Irish guy, it's called Savage. Yes. Thank you, Notorious Bass. Thank you, that was bugging me. Excellent, thank you so much. Step says, Gemini, sorry, I'm just, I will get back to you, Puppy, I'm sorry, I've just realised that it's all skipped again. I've skipped like hundreds of these comments, and I'm very sorry. Why are there ads on a live stream? Because I want to get paid, Puppy. I want to get some money. I have got it set to conservative though, so you shouldn't get that many, but without the ads, it's literally an unmonetized stream, and I need to pay for Little Nightmares 3. So please forgive the ads. Sorry. The balloon thing makes us... the balloon thing means something. Gemini, you're absolutely onto something. I'm telling you, I haven't played very Little Nightmare. Oh, Step, you absolutely should. You absolutely should. Hello, Tomato Man, and thank you for your contribution to my latest theory video, the pseudonym theory. I really enjoyed reading your theory and expanding on it a little bit. Master Gem, sorry for the late arrival. Glad to be here now. You're excused. You're excused, Notorious Bass, but only because you were able to tell me the name of that movie and it's been bothering me. So I'll forgive you this time. I'll let you keep your eyeballs. And yeah, Puppy, like I say, a similar thing happened to my friend when Mr. Tibbs. He built up his channel and he got a good amount of subscribers, and he had a wonderful community, and he found some success, and then he ran into some beef with one person, and YouTube decided to just cut him off. They cancelled the channel, it ceased to exist, and he had to start from scratch. And it's very sad, because he'd done such a good job and he worked for so long, and he did really, really well, and for it to just turn around on you like that, it's saddening. As you know, obviously, you've worked really hard to get up to 5,000 subs, and for all that to be taken away in the blink of an eye because of like somebody else, it's really disheartening. But that just shows the fragility of being on this platform. It's why you can't really depend on it necessarily, so you can't have all your eggs in one basket, and it's also why you have to be very careful with how you tread as far as following the rules goes. So if YouTube say these terms are unacceptable, you need to be very acutely aware of what that means. You need to read those terms and conditions and familiarise yourself with them, because I could just come out and say everything that I wanted to say, and it's not that it's controversial, but if one person frowns upon what I said, if one person is upset by it, if one person is offended by it, they'll report that to YouTube, and YouTube will take that very seriously, because my channel does so little for YouTube as a business that they wouldn't think twice about Thanos snapping me out of existence to make that person happy. You know, because in their eyes that would be the morally correct thing to do. And whether I agree with that or disagree with that, it doesn't matter. The fact is, it can happen, and I'm really sorry that it happened to you. So excited for what you found, though. It took many screenshots and all the trailers, brightened up the images. Oh, I found something. Clamori gave you the idea. Awesome. Happy birth month to me. Thank you. Thank you. Dude still used her as bait. Yeah. I'm glad you know I care. Spiral, what do you think of the supervisor of the Candy Factory? I think she's my favourite character in the new game so far. She's awesome. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love her. I love her. I feel like she's I know something about I know so much more than I can say at the moment, but I know something. It's cool. Have 14 subs now, but you will get back there, puppy. Like, if you want it badly enough, you'll find a way to get there. You just will. Do you make a lot of money off YouTube? I make a little bit. It's not a lot by any stretch. I still have to work a day job, well, 2 day jobs. So I still work as an editor, and I still work as a personal trainer at a gym as well. YouTube does make me money now at this point, but it's not even close to enough for me to make this my full-time job. I wish it was, and someday it might be. That's the dream. But for now, absolutely not. It does make money, and enough for me to be grateful for, but nowhere near enough for me to, you know, quit work or anything like that. Took me 4 years to gain 800 subs, Gemini. You did 6. Yeah, I hope I'll become a big channel step. I hope you're right. But if that, like, I consider 6,000 subs a lot of people. Like, I think of it from a perspective standpoint. Anybody who is a YouTuber in my chat, consider this. If you feel like you've got a small channel, like, no matter how many subscribers you've got, imagine the room you're in right now. Like, I'm imagining my office. I want you to imagine your office, your bedroom, your classroom, whatever room you're in at the moment, and then think of the amount of subscribers you've got. Would they fit in that room? Like, how many of them would there be? If you've got 800 subscribers and you consider that a small channel, if you've got 800 people that love what you do and interact with you and like you and believe in something that you've created, imagine that. Imagine they were an audience in a room and you were performing to them live, like I am you guys now. Imagine if I was live and there's how many of you? Say there's like 35, 40 of you in the chat right now. If every single one of you was in this room right now with me, we would suffocate because there's not enough room. That's how many of you there are. No worry, Heaven. I appreciate you stopping by. I really, really appreciate you being here and sharing your theories and thoughts with us. It's been really good to have you. Sorry you gotta go, but everyone has a life outside of YouTube. Even me, sadly. Got a strike warning from YouTube. Yeah, I've had a couple of those. Never anything really serious, but just where I've like, you know, forgotten to credit some music or something like that. You know, like I've used music and it did. In fact, my my last video, sorry, not my last theory video, but my last live stream, I watched a couple of videos by a couple of other creators, and the stream was nearly 3 hours long. The clip that I watched was 3 minutes long or so. But YouTube demonetized the entire video because I used that clip. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have made enough money out of that video to justify, you know, cutting the clip out entirely, because it was a clip that I wanted to share, and I fully believe in supporting the original creator of said clip, because it was a fantastic music video that was based on Little Nightmares. So they're all for it, you know, and if whatever money my video would have made with, you know, over time is worth having, then by all means they're welcome to it. I'm happy to be of support, but it was just kind of sad, because I'm like, really, you know, yeah, I don't know, it's like, I know it's just literally just logistics, and it's the way the analytics work and things like that, and it's totally fine. I understand it. I knew that it would happen on some level. I just neglected to you know, to put it into practice at the time. That's on me. I don't mind. It doesn't make a difference. My point is, it kind of makes me feel like I've done something wrong when it comes up like that, even though it specifically says, you know, this is not a copyright strike. You know, they say, you know, sorry, this is not a copyright claim. You know, it just means that you can't monetize your video. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's totally fine, as long as I'm not in trouble. And they're like, no, you're not in trouble, but you feel like you are. You know, you feel like you've done something wrong. So yes, as long as you have the support of your friends and family, you'll be fine. Exactly right. It's important that you surround yourself with a supportive network of people that have your best interests at heart. That's what counts. Another reason why I value the community so much, because I don't have a lot of friends here, or at least I do. I have a lot of associates. I have a lot of people that I see frequently, you know, people at the gym, and friends who'll come and visit me, and a wonderful family. My mum and dad, a spectacular family. So it's not like I'm so lonely and isolated. I like my own company. I love being alone. I tend to, you know, intentionally distance myself from the general public, and that's fine. But it's great to know that I've got you guys who will come here actively and spend your Saturday evening yapping with me. Speaking of which, I am just going to take a very quick bathroom break, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to read a few more of your comments. I'm going to share another one of these with you, and then I might call the stream, but not for another like half an hour. So don't go anywhere. Don't leave. I mean it. Don't go, because I got something cool in there that I want to share with you guys. But for now, I'm just going to cut to a commercial break really quick while I go and get a refill, use the bathroom, and I'll be right back. If you've got any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments there. Also, if you haven't liked the video, please do consider subscribing if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell, and answer the poll. Answer that poll. And while I'm gone, spam this little heart thing here. You know that little heart emoji down in the corner? Go ahead and spam those. I'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes. Look at you guys. Lots of love in the chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Right, let's get back to these comments. Ahem. That's my voice clearing thing. It took Jord 10 years to gain 68 subs, about 10 times what you have. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. Jord is like the pinnacle of Little Nightmares theorists. So, like, Jord for me is the upper echelon, and 68,000 subs is an incredible number. Like, ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, he's earned each and every one of them. It's a massive achievement to be that big, and I'd love to get there someday. But I would dread to try and keep up with his chat if he goes live. Please talk more about Noon and Baby Monster. In the Sounds of Little Nightmares, it was about Noon. Do you think she's an important character in Little Nightmares 3? Do you think she's going to survive? I do think that she is important, but I'm not entirely sure how she's going to affect the franchise. Oh, it's a tough one because while I don't think Noon is necessarily going to feature in Little Nightmares 3, I do think her influence could be seen throughout it, particularly in the carnival area, because I do know that the carnival area that Noon visits, you know, with the man in the purple suit and everything like that, is canon to the Little Nightmares universe and is canon to Little Nightmares 3, because we know we're going to visit a carnival because we've seen it in the trailer already, and it's on the cover art, for goodness sake. But also the episode of The Sounds of Nightmares that features the carnival and them, the performing kids and everything like that, was written by Supermassive, the people responsible for working in conjunction with Bandai on creating the game. So if we're going to see anything from The Sounds of Nightmares in the Little Nightmares 3 fully complete game, it's going to be that. Because that's the one thing that they have a full circle connectivity on. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to get to see Noon, but I definitely feel like we'll be able to see some of her influence throughout. At least some little, like, subtle nods to her existence. I'd be too scared to have a big channel, 6,000 people wanting consistent content. Yeah, exactly, and it can be a little bit daunting, but something else you got to realize is it's 6,000 people that want content because they enjoy what you do. That's why I always say that you shouldn't necessarily try to follow trends or like do something that everyone else wants you to do. You should listen to your audience, don't get me wrong, but what you should also do is you should create content that you enjoy making. You should do what you like to do, because by doing so you will like default to attracting people also like what you do. I love Little Nightmares. I love Little Nightmares and I love theorizing on it. I love speculating. I love doing streams like this. This is fun. This is my night off. This is a wonderful way to spend my evening, and it's great, and I really, really enjoy it. And you guys like it as well. But if I wasn't like them, by being here, I'm able to offer you guys a platform with which you can share your own thoughts and opinions and speculate on them with me. And it's great because we get to share this like safe space together where we get to enjoy something. So knowing that you guys want this kind of content gives me a positive motivation to keep making it. There is a modicum of pressure that comes with that, 'cause it's like, my audience is going to want something soon and I'm not making it fast enough. But I like doing it. If I hated doing it, it would be work. Because like if I worked in sales like I used to do, there's a lot of pressure because guys people at work, they want you to make money. They want you to hit targets and make sales reps and things like that. And it's like, okay, you have to meet a certain quota. And there's the pressure of doing that, but you don't like doing it either. So it's like, that's pressure because it's work. Whereas this, it's like, it's pressure because people love you. Whereas work is pressure because people expect of you. They don't even like you. They like the money that you make for them. But that's it. I don't mind you guys putting pressure on me and saying, we love what you do it more. Because that just makes me want to do it more. That's why if you ever do make if you ever do get like a big following where you got thousands of people that are expecting content from you, make sure that you create content. You start by making content that you intend to keep creating and that you like creating. Because if you don't like doing it, it will become work. It'll become a chore. You'll fall out of love with it, and you'll just fall over it. You just won't. You'll fall out of love with it, and it won't matter to you anymore. It's what happens to a lot of creators. They just stop enjoying YouTube. So you all know Clamori? I know Clamori because Clamori won one of my giveaways. Occasionally I will do prize giveaways where I'll give away a gift to a member of the Little Nightmares community, like one of you guys. I'll give away copies of Little Nightmares 3, I'll give away comics, I'll give away like statues and collectibles and stuff like that. And Clamori was one of our winners. That's how I know Clamori. Well, I know Clamori from the chat, obviously. I've spoken to Clamori before, but obviously I have communicated directly with Clamori outside of the YouTube chat now because Clamori won one of the giveaway competitions. I love Mono much more than any other character. Felt his betrayal. Yeah, you do. Yeah, this is what I mean by you associate with the characters and you learn to relate to them. It's very wholesome that you're able to feel it, like really feel it. Everyone knows Clamori. Like how Clamori's come up in this chat a few times and he's not here. My hot take is that Little Nightmares is better off as sort of a niche fandom, sort of the weird content fan channels. Yep, exactly, yeah. I would agree, Blorbo. I think that it being niche is actually helpful because it means that it's mostly the genuine fans that get behind it. Like, Five Nights at Freddy's has become a very convoluted area because it's so heavily saturated. Like, there are millions of creators that do Five Nights at Freddy's content now, and it used to be niche, and it used to be like this, where people could go in and speculate on it together and have a lot of fun, and they still do. People love it, don't get me wrong, but like it would hurt like smaller channels. Like if I was to make a channel and start exploring Five Nights at Freddy's content, I don't think it'd get off the ground. Nobody watch me do it because there's millions of other people already doing it. It's the same reason being a Let's Player doesn't really work on YouTube anymore. You can't just go on YouTube and play video games because people have been doing that for 15 years. And if you want, there's millions of other people that do it too. So it's really hard to get that off the ground. But with a niche like Little Nightmares, there's probably only a couple hundred creators that actually focus on it directly. And there's probably less than 20 of them that are actually notable. People that I can name straight off the bat, like Just Jord, Super Horror Bro Mike, The Overman, people like that are, notable names with quite big followings. Spill the Theories, Little Night Theories. There's a number of FipsyB2, a couple of people where it's like they focus on this niche, and I will very frequently go into their video, I'll watch their video, go into their comment section, and I'll see you guys. I'll see a lot of you, a lot of familiar faces, and I'm like, they watch my videos. It's nice to know that we are that close-knit. And although it's not that big a fandom, comparatively speaking, it's big enough to be of substance, but it's not so big that it's oversaturated and easy to just jump on a bandwagon and be like, yeah, we'll all get on this because it's popular. It's not so popular as to justify thousands and thousands of people jumping on the same bandwagon. So it still feels kind of special to us. Gemini, would you ever date one of your viewers just asking for a friend? No, I'm afraid not, Frigimonster. And that's not a dig at any of my viewers. I wouldn't date anybody ever. I believe that I believe that you get one love in your life, and I've had mine. So he thought they saw. What did Step say? Sorry, he thought he saw the man in the purple suit in the Little Nightmares 3 banner, but it turned out to just be a body bag. Fair enough. And another thing, the part with the big spinning wheel in the friendship trailer is the fun fair. I brightened up the image and there were carousel horses. Yes, you can actually see a carousel horse in the cover art as well. If you look quite carefully, it's sort of obscured behind the giant like baby rattle, but you can see like a broken down carousel horse there as well. I got to play Dead by Daylight with Jordan. Yeah, I saw that, puppy. I actually watched that video. I was there during that live stream. It was great. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I wonder what we will encounter in the interior part of the fun fair. Yeah, I'm very curious as well. I'd love to see a room of mirrors because I feel like that would match the aesthetic really well. I'd love to explore the big top, and I would really like to, check out some of the rides and things like that. Speaking of the fun fair, how many of you guys believe that it is a floating ship? Just a quick question, because in the Sounds of Nightmares it's described as such. But how many of you guys think that's a thing? How many of you guys think that the carnival area in Little Nightmares 3 is on a floating ship? Gemini, please tell me to stop my... No, do not stop. Work your fingers to the bone, crazy YouTuber. Get them crazy fingers working. Go. More hearts, more love. Validate me, damn it. You can stop whenever you want, my brother. It's good. You're golden. Don't worry about it. You've shown me plenty of love just by being here. I really appreciate it, though. It's all good. But you can stop whenever you're ready. But now you can't, can you? Now it's impossible. Now you want to stop, but you can't. Your fingers are moving on your own. Your thumb. What's happening? Completely idle. Almost as if you're being mind controlled. The big wheel in the friendship trailer is in the carnival, though. Imagine if we find Noon as a resident or a monster. Oh no, Dariana, no. Imagine if we do. Imagine if we find Noon as a monster. What would she be? No, well, that changed it. I was like, I'm so heartbroken, poor Noon. What would she be? What monster would she be? No, really though, what kind of monster do you think Noon would be if you found her in the nowhere? I love making content, but I have no motivation right now. Hey, that's okay. It's really hard to find. It's really hard to find some motivation, especially when you focus on Little Nightmares. It's easy for the well to run dry because we get so very little by way of content. It's hard for me to continuously make theories when all we've got to go on is the few trailers that we've got. So I find myself digging through old archives and things like that. That's why a lot of the theories that I come up with are old. They're based on old Little Nightmares content, because I'm so starved for content ideas that I go back to old ideas, old school designs. Old school theories and things like that, and I look into them with more depth, with a fresh pair of eyes, and I try and tie newer lore to older theories. That's actually what I did with the pseudonym theory, and I ended up coming up with the potential prediction for the end of Little Nightmares 3. The amount I hate Little Nightmares 3 it's insane. Yeah, I know. It is sad, but it's each to their own. Everyone's entitled. If some people don't like it, that's totally fine. There's some people that don't like me. People come to my channel literally just to hate on it. I literally get people that just come into my comments just to say awful things about me, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. It's entirely up to them to do that. If that's what they want to do with their time, no problem. You don't have to like me. They'll just come in, they'll dislike the video, they'll leave me a really nasty comment, it'll go away. But that's just people's prerogative, and it's up to them. And if people don't like Little Nightmares 3, or they don't like Reanimal, or they don't like FNAF, that's fine. You don't have to like anything. I can't force you to like it, but you also don't have to be here watching it, and you definitely don't have to leave a comment. So, feel free to leave. Anyway, oh my god, you got the Mono and 6 diorama. I did. I bought 2 of them. That one right there. It's excellent. It's such a wonderful piece. I love it. I'm going to show it off. I'm going to try and be careful with it, but yeah, I absolutely love this. I intend to put up a shelf to put this up because this is my favourite piece. Look at the teacher right there. Look, where are you? There. Oh, look at that. Right there. I was actually thinking about making a full-size portrait of the teacher, hanging it on my wall. What do you think? Would that be creepy? Because I was going to do that. But yeah, what a spectacular piece this is. It was excellent. It's excellent though, and you absolutely should get one. It's brilliant. It's a collector's piece as well, so limited edition. I actually bought 2 of these. I gave one away to Frigimonster. Funnily enough, he's in the chat right now. He was another prize winner. So when Frigimonster entered the prize giveaway, I can't remember which one it was. Was it Christmas, Frigi? I can't remember. But I've given one of these away as well. This was one of the prizes in my giveaway. So I bought one for me and one for one of you, and it happened to be Frigimonster. Because my giveaways are always random, you see. I give everybody a chance to enter, and it's always free to enter. So you just like enter a code that I give you at the beginning of the stream, and then somebody will receive a prize from me that's designated at the beginning of the stream. So if you're interested in what I'm giving away, I'll do more of them as well, but I tend to only do them for special events, you know, Christmas, Halloween, stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be there are going to be more of those coming up in the future. In the nowhere, anything is possible. Yeah. I just had an ad and it jump scared me. So yeah, I actually have YouTube Premium, so I don't get ads. But the reason I bought it is because I like sleeping with YouTube on. I've got like a playlist of like it's a educational documentary series that I listen to help me sleep. Because the guy has got like a wonderful voice and like a really soothing way of speaking, and it's just nice, and sometimes it influences my dreams and makes me dream nice. So anyway, but I listened to that overnight, but there was this one particular advert with this woman called Emma in it. I can't remember, I just remember because the volume wasn't optimized properly, so I will have the volume quite low. But it doesn't matter how low you have it. When this advert comes on, it was like max volume and it's spiking. It scared me awake. It was a travel thing. It's like, Emma has just arrived in Dubai. And it was just a big toothy woman that looked a bit like the supervisor celebrating a holiday in Dubai, being really happy about it for 4 seconds until I could click the ad off. Shut up, Emma. Go away. Click. Then she'd go away for a little bit, and then the next episode would come on and she'd come back and buy premium. So I use premium now, and I haven't had an ad for months. It's wonderful. It's a little bit expensive though, but it is what it is. We are family. If you only knew of the view. 100% floating ship. Yep, glad you said that. Because I've got a theory about that. Who wants to hear my floating ship theory? Anyone interested in hearing my carnival floating ship theory? I need more evidence. I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, that's how I feel about everything. Like, literally everything is speculation at this point, right? Bookworm. Bookworm's another competition winner, actually. Idiotic Bookworm is another person that won one of our giveaways. One of the reasons why my Otto monster design was a spider. Ooh, I think Noon would be a moth-like being. I like that. I really like that. That's really cool. Noon would be something related to insects or moths. Yeah, like crawlies, she calls them, doesn't she? Gemini, you just said that you only meet... Well, wait there. Sorry. Gemini, you just said that you only meet one lover. What does love mean for you? Love, for me, is when you can give the entirety of your being to someone. Like everything about yourself, your trust, your like innermost secrets, your deepest personality, your flaws, your best and your worst. When you can give your best and your worst and your everything to somebody, that is love for me. That's true love. When you would literally fight and die for someone, when you would commit yourself to them in a situation where, like, if you could give your heart to them to keep them alive, and you would, that's love. Like, if you could choose between your life and theirs, like, beyond any shadow of a doubt, like, there wouldn't even be a remote possibility that you'd have to think about it. You know, if they needed you, you would be there. If they needed you to do something, you would do it. You know, you can commit yourself to them, and every thought you have about that person is making them happy, thinking about what's best for them, having their best interests at heart at all times, permanently, without contrast. It's like it. That's it. That's it. Basically, love has since died for me, so I don't believe in love anymore. I think love is a trap. But but I think if true love exists, and it does somewhere deep down, I don't have it, but it does exist. It is out there. But a lot of people these days are disillusioned with what love actually is. A lot of people feel like love is just, you know, it's just, oh, I think that person's really good looking, or, you know, we've been dating for a while, or we have kids together, or this guy bought me a really nice car, you know, but they don't actually know the true meaning of love. They've never experienced love in its truest form. I feel like I have, and that's why I feel like I'm able to say that I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and I'm over it, sort of thing. Like, I've moved beyond the need for love, but yeah, but that to me is what it represents. Anyway, sorry, I keep going off on tangents that don't mean anything to anybody. I'm sorry about that, guys. Something like the mall and the carnival. If people visit you just to hate, you know, you're getting pop. Yeah, exactly, right? You definitely made it if somebody's hating on you. How about Donald Trump as a monster? Well, I mean, he's got that face. Like, Donald Trump is, like, whether you love him or hate him, Donald Trump would make a great villain in the nowhere. I think we'll have a zoom out shot like we had in the mall with the fun fair, where it'll show the ship because there's a mast and ship-like windows. Yeah, see, I imagine a lot of the aesthetic as well is very ship-like in the carnival. Known as a monster or resident, a fire monster because of a water sickness, a moth-like creature. Yeah, one that's drawn to flame, one that's drawn to light in some description. Maybe that's how we'd beat her. Maybe you have to draw her to, like, one of the glowing eyes. Maybe you draw her to the monster baby, and the monster baby turns at a stone. Saying that, I don't think the residents are affected by them eyes, because we see in Little Nightmares 1, and if you look carefully, you'll notice when we first see Roger, the janitor, and he's pulling a cage along on the bridge, when you first get a glimpse of him, he walks under one of them paralysing eyes, and it's lit up. And it looks at him, and he just keeps moving. Doesn't affect him at all. So I think they might be immune to it. Either that, or the developers overlooked it, but I highly doubt it was an oversight. Not with Tarsier. Okay, I'm buying it. Thanks for showing it, Closet. Decided to buy it, definitely. Good choice, Step. In the Little Nightmares Discord ran by Jordan, posts screenshots of the hate comments just to make fun of them. It's our way of bonding. Yeah, exactly. I would, but I also don't really want to out these people, because I know that for every comment, for every negative comment I get, there will be somebody that has something nice to say, and there will be a number of people that want to jump in and defend me. And as much as I appreciate that, I also don't want my community to go attacking any individual just because they've voiced their opinion. That person might have said something hurtful to me that, you know, wasn't very pleasant to hear, but it doesn't necessarily, it's a reflection of them, you know, and so, but they might be going through something, they might be having a hard time, you know, there might be some stuff going on in their life, and they find comfort in venting on the internet, and they're just, you know, they're trying to get some of that negative energy out, and they take it out on me. And that's fine, you know, if they're taking it out on me rather than somebody like one of you guys, I prefer that. I've got thick skin. I'm a bullet sponge. I'm good. You can't upset me. Yeah, I don't feel anything. I'm a freaking loveless robot. So I'm good. But I don't publish like these comments, and I never name the people that say them or anything like that, just because I don't want people to like file into their comment section or start DMing them with threats or being, you know, like being threatening or cruel or unpleasant to anybody. Even if it is in my defense, while I really appreciate it, I just think if you you know, making fun of it is one thing. Like you're doing just fine. Like on George's channel or on George's Discord, where you guys are just having a laugh about it and having some fun. That's totally fine. An absolute W in my book. But if you're actively, say, you know, seeking to hurt this individual or, you know, to fight fire with fire and make them feel as negative as they made you feel, then it just spreads more negativity and it creates a really toxic environment that's just, in my experience, conflict breeds conflict. You know, so like, someone says something hurtful to me online. I've got two choices. Number one, I can ignore it and just, you know, let them have their say. They've had their say, they've said their piece, that's it. You know, that story's over. I move on, they move on, everybody's happy. Because I'm not hurt, I'm not heartbroken, I don't think about it every night, I don't really care, so it is what it is. Or, I go cry into my community. And I'm like, this person has really hurt my feelings. All of you should go to their channel and hate on their content, dislike all of their stuff, leave negative comments in their section and be cruel to them. And you could do that. And that'll make them feel awful. And then they have got the same choice. They could either choose to fight fire with fire and build their community and come back at all of you, and then everyone's arguing in everyone's comment sections and it becomes a toxic cesspool of threats and violence of people who don't know each other arguing about a situation that they weren't a part of to start with and inciting violence and hatred in a community where it need not be. Or we could just let it go. It doesn't hurt me badly enough to necessitate coming to you guys and asking you to defend me. And I don't mention any of these people because I don't wish harm on them. I just don't care that badly. So it's, you know, it is what it is. I really appreciate a lot of people want to defend me, but I also would in my opinion, the best way to defend me and to make me feel better about it is to spread positivity within the community and make everybody feel happy and loved and welcome, like they're in a safe place and a safe, comfortable environment. It's great to know we defend each other if need be, but there are situations that necessitate it and there are situations that absolutely don't. If you want to defend me to any of the negativity, be positive. Just infectiously positive. Be kind to each other. Be pleasant, be friendly, be wholesome, and that's it. You know, you just, yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, Marvinus just said it exactly right. Fire against fire will just become a greater fire. It's right. Imagine that. Yeah, just put that into perspective. You fight fire with fire, you get more fire. Eventually it consumes everything and everybody burns. Who wins? No one, right? Hey guys, hey Karina, what's up? Hello there, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry I'm answering your comments so late. I'm miles behind on the chat, as you can probably see. Let me just scroll up a little bit so that I don't. Yes, Puppy Queen. Sorry, I read that one. Mika Link, it's been a while, but glad. Hey, Mika Link, hello there and welcome back. It's good to see you in the stream again. I'm glad you were able to see us. See familiar faces from my channel in another video. Yeah, absolutely right. This is one of the best parts about having like a community that's this small. Well, small is the fact that we're all familiar with each other. So when I go into other people's comment sections and I see familiar faces, I'm like, I know that guy. There's you. Here's this person I know. I know that girl. She was in my chat. You know, it's cool. It's just fun. I don't know. Like when you when you leave school and you see one of your friends from school across the street. I know that person. I know them. I know him. He's a friend from work. Ah, definitely. Yep. What a beautiful way of seeing love. Thank you, Bookworm. I want it to be a scene where Lo and Alone climb up a rope, climbing up a ship like Six climbing up the moor. Yeah, that'd be cool. Ah, my poll ended. I didn't choose to do that. It must have, I suppose it's because I've been live for the better part of 3 hours now, so yeah. And yeah, that's intriguing that 93% of you voted yes out of 107 votes. 107 of you guys have voted. 93% of you, so over 100 of you, think that there will be a hall of mirrors in the carnival. And I genuinely believe that it would be a missed opportunity if we don't get one. I definitely think there are some pretty cool connotations to having that in there. Someone, I like you. Me, I like Little Nightmares. Yep. Gary Peel, hello and welcome to the stream. Sorry it took so long to get in for you, bro. Not really excited for Little Nightmares 3. Why is that? What's your opinion, brother? Why is it? Why does it not excite you? Because it excites me no end, but that's probably obvious by the name of the stream and everything that I like. The fact that I can yap about it for 3 hours. But why does it not appeal to you, Gary? What do you think will be revealed about Little Nightmares 3 this spring? Ooh, Lof. I think that we might, maybe, potentially get a release date. Maybe. Just saying. What do you think of the sounds of Nightmares? Give us your rate on it. 10 out of 10. Straight 10 out of 10. No questions asked. It was amazing. The voice acting was fantastic. Kester Lovelace was a great villain. Just his voice acting. Well, everyone's voice acting within it. I'm using Kester as an example because I got to speak to Kester Lovelace directly. He was the voice of Otto. And I was doing some research for a theory, and I ended up reaching out to Mr. Lovelace and listening to some of his other work. It was just crazy good. It was written so immaculately well. It built the world fantastically. It created lovable, relatable characters that we grew to genuinely care about. Tobias Lilja did an amazing job with the soundtrack, as he always does. The sound effects were spot on, created a sense of atmosphere and legitimate realism that made it really, really immersive. Incredible series, 10 out of 10, no doubt. I loved it, and I long for a season 2. Amazing work. Absolutely amazing work. So yeah, I liked it. Whoops. Yeah, we like to make fun of it, but we don't send hate to the person. You don't do that. Yeah, exactly, puppy. It's just for fun. Because that's the thing. If you don't laugh, you'll cry, kind of thing. If someone has something hurtful to say about you, you've got two choices. You can get really upset or you can laugh it off. And if you get really upset about everything, like, I am a person on the internet, right? I expect that there is going to be some hate, and not all of it will be justified. And that is totally fine because it's just their opinion. And they're entitled to their opinion. I see things and people on the internet that I just don't like. And that's fine. There's nothing to worry about. It's just, it is what it is. I can laugh about it. Most of the comments that I get are usually on my appearance anyway. It's not even saying your content sucks, and the content is what matters. It's usually just saying I'm ugly or something. So, thanks. I'm trying. What do you want me to do? Wear makeup or something? I can maybe paint my face, start wearing a mask, maybe put my hood up and hide. What do you want from me? How do I make you like me? If you don't like me, I don't care. Just if you don't like me, don't watch. Go watch someone you do like. Absolutely agree. Sometimes it's better to get an extinguisher. Yeah, exactly. I'd rather just blow out the flame. Funfair is likely next in line. Yeah, I would agree. Oh my god, please, Gemini, give us a secret you won't tell us about. I'm excited to know. I can't. We haven't hit target. I'm under strict YouTube guidelines. They said if we didn't hit target, then I'm not allowed to reveal it. You're going to have to wait. I will reveal it because it's coming up in a theory video before long. But, I don't know, I might make it members only. Oh, I'm such an asshole. Gonna restock on chips and drinks. Good choice. You're right, because people love Little Nightmares 1 and 2, they're scared of the change, making Little Nightmares 3. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Some people are a little bit dubious about I was. When I first saw the trailer, and I saw the choice of colour palette, you know, with Alone being bright green, and the palette of the Necropolis being bright orange, I was like, this doesn't carry Little Nightmares vibes for me. And initially it didn't, but then I let the trailer play out, and I'm like, oh wait, yes it does. Yes, it does. And as it works through, you can sort of see the fade, and it's like, all right, this works, you know. But you've just got to be able to imagine it from an alternative perspective, and take into account that Little Nightmares, the story of Little Nightmares, isn't about Six. It isn't about Mono. It isn't about the Pale City. It's about the nowhere. And the nowhere is a vast expanse that we can scarcely understand. Even those of us that research it day in and day out like I do, even those of us that make notes, it's very, very difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to put into words and articulate. So there is so much more to the nowhere that we don't understand and are not privy to. So you have to go into it with an open mind. And I'm really glad I did. 12 out of 10 Sounds of Nightmares, yeah. Any theories on the recent post Little Nightmares made for no apparent reason? Not necessarily, other than the, I just think it was a way to stay relevant. It's like, look guys, we still exist, kind of thing. But I think that anything that they intend to give us that might be coming up soon, I don't think they wanted to hint at least not too strongly. I think they just wanted us to know that they're still here. You know, they're still here, they're still thinking of us, and they want us to know, you know, hey guys, we haven't forgot you exist. You know, I do it sometimes. So, like, as you guys know, it takes me a long time to make content. So I'll make a theory video. It might take me a month. So it's like, okay, well, I need to give my audience something in the meantime. So I'll create posts in the meantime. I'll let you know I'm thinking of you guys. You know, I'm still relevant. Remember me. But I'll give you guys questions, and I'll give you guys things to figure out or things to debate on, or, you know, like questions like would you rather questions and stuff like that, just to keep the conversation going and to keep things interesting. And it's because I'd like to stay relevant and stay in your minds and let you know that I'm still here and still doing my thing, but I'm doing it in the background, kind of thing. But I'll give you little tidbits of information now and again, and it might not seem necessarily new or exciting, but it's enough for you to keep your eyes on my channel and keep your eyes on my content and keep you thinking about what Gemini might have in store. And I think Bandai did a very similar thing when they dropped this little teaser where they put the umbrella up, and it's like, okay, but because they're so ambiguous and mysterious all the time, they knew that by posting that, we would automatically, frantically jump into theory mode again and be like, oh, something new, something interesting, something exciting. You know, they would just, and we'll zone in on that kind of thing, because that's what we do. Their foundation audience, you know, their core base, their target demographic, they will respond to that. Because it's, you know, all they need to do is let us know they're still alive. They're still doing it. Lonnie Nadler was amazing. Yes, absolutely. Lonnie Nadler, another person that I've had a very brief interaction with. Lonnie is fantastic. Very, very pleasant individual to speak to. I would love to. I'd love to get to know Lonnie Nadler a bit more and experience a bit more of his work, because it was just chef's kiss. People saying Little Nightmares 3 is going to be bad just because Supermassive Games are making Little Nightmares 3. But yeah, see, I was guilty of this, because when I played some of Supermassive's other games, like the Dark Anthology series, I didn't take to them all that much. And I wasn't super excited for them. I liked some of like the monster designs and the story concepts, but I couldn't get behind the actors, because I've never really. But that's me. Like, that is my typical. It's not a reflection of them as a developer, because the games were phenomenal and very, very well received. But me as a person, I don't like people. I know that sounds really weird to coming from a guy who can sit here and talk to 30 of you people for 3 hours and with a smile on my face, but my point is the characters in the stories I didn't find all that likable, and the aim of the game was to save as many of these characters as you could, and I didn't find any joy in that because I didn't like any of the characters. Their personalities clashed with mine. I thought they were a bit unlikable, and they grated on me a bit, and I just wanted to see how quickly I could kill them all. It's like, what savage ways could I be like, see these people go off. So yeah, but yeah, just a bit of an introvert. So those games didn't really appeal to me, but the games weren't bad at all. But I was just a bit concerned because Supermassive have made games that I didn't particularly enjoy in the past, and now they're making a game within a franchise that is like my heart and soul. So it's like I'm trusting them with something very important to me. So of course I'm a little bit nervous, or at least I was before I saw the pre-alpha, and it absolutely blew my mind. And now I'm convinced it's going to be solid gold. So I have all the faith in the world in Supermassive and Bandai, and I feel like they're going to do an amazing job moving forwards. Like, absolutely no doubt in my mind. I feel like they're going to do a great job. I say that with the utmost sincerity. I did have my doubts, and I am 100% guilty of that. I think a lot of you are too, if you're being really honest with yourselves. You'll have questioned something down the line, whether or not this is going to be a good game. But I think if the trailers have proved anything, it's that they know what they're talking about. Like, they know exactly what they're doing. Look at the supervisor. Listen to that soundtrack that plays when that thing chases you. Like, listen to the environmental sound effects and tell me that this isn't going to be amazing. Gemini would look amazing wearing mascara and eyeliner. You'll never know. Maybe I can pull it off. I know you mostly cover Little Nightmares. What about Reanimal? Yeah, I'll absolutely be getting into Reanimal, Karina, when it comes out. I'll definitely play it, and I will certainly try my hand at some theories. I suppose it depends on how well I take to the game. If I thoroughly enjoy the game and I fall in love with it like I have with Little Nightmares, I'll 100% be diving into that. Have you seen the Fear in Art Dave Mervick interviews? Yeah, I have. They are very, very good. And if you haven't watched them, I won't spoil them for you. But there are some very, very cool Little Nightmares insights, and some even more interesting insights into the development process, like that goes into his way of thinking and stuff. Make us interested. Yes, make us suffer waiting. Me when the new trailer drops. The voices. I'll see you later, Bookworm. Thank you for tuning in and spending your Saturday evening with me. I really appreciate you being here. Only a bit, he says. 5 minutes remaining, we're doomed. Yeah, maybe we won't get the full reveal, but don't panic, because you guys will be getting an actual theory video surrounding this. It will be coming out. I'm not just gonna keep it to myself and hide it from you guys. But I would have liked to give you guys a little tidbit of information. And I tell you what, before I go, because I am going to wrap up this stream pretty soon, but while there's still a few of you in here, I want you to consider this. There's a question I asked earlier on about, do you think the carnival section in Little Nightmares 3 is a floating ship? I think, now hear me out, because I haven't thought about it that deep, but I want you to consider something. In the Little Nightmares 3 trailer, in fact, let me bring it up super fast. I'll bring it up super fast. 1 second. Okay. So hopefully you guys will be able to see my screen in a sec. if I just lose the background, there. Now, I want you guys to think about this. Okay, consider. Also, doesn't that look like a mask on a mannequin head right there? Just notice that right there. But either way, that's not the point I'm looking at. Okay, can you guys all see this just fine? You should be able to see that. Okay. Now I'm just going to let this play and I'm going to point something out to you, and I want you to let me know that, because this might give us an idea of the direction of the game and at what point we arrive, because it is largely believed that the necropolis is going to be the first place we visit in the in Little Nightmares 2, in Little Nightmares 3, because we see us leaving what appears to be the factory here, and that's the first clue that I've just discovered right there and then in real time. But bear this in mind, okay? So when we see Lorne Alone entering the necropolis, I think the necropolis could be both the first and the last place we enter. The first place, it could serve as like a tutorial area, but also it might actually be the end of the game. Seeing the monster baby coming down and crushing Lorne Alone, or reaching down into the thing, that might actually be the end of the game. Or a similar, you know, pretty close to the end of the game. And here's why. Because this appears to be the factory. So if Lorne Alone come through this portal here, volume a little bit, here we go. They've left the factory. They've already done the factory section and ended up in a necropolis. But what's more, even if that's not the case, okay, consider this. And I'm sorry, I can't see chat at the moment, but consider this. Watch as we walk through. Hope it's in this gameplay trailer. Right. So there's a couple of these here, and I made some speculations on it before. Right, is it? Might not have even been in this one now. Now that I'm thinking about it. No, it's not. Unless the trailer's right at the end, is it? No, it's not this one. Sorry, forgive me. 1 second. It's the oh, what's it called? Reveal. This one. I think maybe was it this one? No, or was it Friendship? It was Friendship. Wait, the Friendship trailer. Sorry, I've watched so many trailers. Friendship. Pretty sure this was it. Right, now watch this.
Peggy 16.
See if I'm onto something here. Okay. Bear with me. This trailer's so damn good. Awesome. And again, this might not be the right trailer, but I know I... Right, okay. So it looks kind of like a ship, right? It's got like a ship-like aesthetic. And it's speculated that this is a floating ship in the sky, in the carnival, right? But it's a ship, like an actual floating vessel, okay? Now, saw something. I just want to say it because it was faster, but I want you guys to see what I... It wasn't this goddamn trailer. Alright, bear in mind the ship. Remember the ship. Remember the ship. I need to... Was it the 18-minute gameplay? 18-minute... Was it this? Or was that what I just tried to show you guys? Was it the original trailer? Let me just try the reveal. Sorry, guys. Forgive me. I know I'm being an amateur right now, but... Well, there is something... Ah, right. So this is the first thing. Okay, now this isn't actually conducive to my theory as it stands, but I want you to pay attention to this. Look at law. What do you notice about law here? Right? There is something. Hello, sweet tree. Hello. I kind of have a theory that law may be Otto because of the going down symbolism. That's interesting. I'd love to hear it, sweet tree. And also thank you for jumping into the stream. I really appreciate it. Yeah, guys, what do you notice about law here? What's weird? What's strange? Do you want me to tell you? He's alone. He is alone. Dariana, Maya, you've got it. He's alone. He is by himself. Why? Where is she? Where did she go? Is this before he meets her? Is this like a prequel? Is this the end of the game? Like, what does this resemble? What does this represent? What does this mean? Why is he by himself? Where is she? And does that mean that, you know, could she have just been cut out of this particular part of the trailer to add tension and have us asking questions where they need not be? Has she just been edited out? Because the very next scene has them meet. See? Is this their first encounter? Is this where he meets her for the first time? Is this where they find them out? There's so many, like, it's bizarre, isn't it? But yeah, and it could, you might be right, Puppy. It could be that they were just alone. Like, you know, they were, sorry, it was just made for the trailer. But he was alone, he was by himself, and we've never seen either character depicted by themselves until I noticed that scene briefly. And while that's not conducive to the theory I'm talking about the ship, it was just something I noticed when I was combing through. But isn't it strange? Isn't it strange? Lorelei, hello, and thank you so much for watching my most recent video. What did you think? I'd love to know what you think. Bro, I already thought that. Yeah, well, exactly. And I know that it's like, it's not wildly like speculative or anything, and for anyone that's as obsessed as I am, it might have seemed like very very obvious. But again, that's not the full theory. That's actually nothing to do with the theory I'm getting to. It just happened to be a part of this trailer. There's a particular scene that I'm looking for. Ah, right, okay. So pay attention to these guys. We got these big fat dudes here, okay? These guest-looking characters. And they look kind of like the workers in the factory, right? They also visit the carnival, quite obviously. These guys are in the carnival. So therefore, these guys are on the ship. Yeah? These guys are on the floating ship, these big fat dudes. They're on the floating ship. Bear that in mind also. That's another part of the plot. The carnival is on a floating ship, and those fat guys were on it. Also, I might have just noticed something else. There. Yeah, that looks like it's... No. Factory. Territory. Right. And it's not this one either. Right, so it's not that trailer. Right. So it's not the announcement trailer. Is it the It wasn't the You're Being Watched one, I'm certain of that. Had to be the gameplay trailer then. Was there a gameplay trailer? I am eventually just going to give up and tell you guys, because I am way out of time now. But gameplay overview trailer.
Very excited to.
Maybe this is it. Yes, this is it. Right, okay. So, sorry. So I'm just on IGN's channel right here. Right, now this is the part that I want you to pay attention to. Remember, the carnival was on a floating ship. And there were the big fat dudes on it. Yeah? Now, bear this in mind. That there, this, behind my fat head. Sorry, let me move my head real quick. This is a ship. Right? This is... So could it be that this is the ship? Could it be that this is the Ferris wheel, or a part of it, or a part of the ride, or something like that? Could it be that we were on the ship as Low and Alone and we crashed it? For some reason, you know, we defeat whatever monster is in control of it and it crashes into the desert. And something more to that is here... Right, we might be on that ship here, and it's got suitcases on board. Yeah? It's got suitcases on board, and it had the fat dudes on board. Now, we leave the ship after it's crashed, and we walk through the desert. Okay? And we can see a couple of sails and stuff, and here is one of the fat dudes, and the suitcases here. This guy could have fell overboard as the ship was crashing. So, what does that tell us about where the ship... Sorry, I've done the wrong camera. But what does that potentially tell us about the timeline for this game? Because it was like, I was on the understanding, at least until recently, that the necropolis was going to be the first area we explore. But it might not be. It might be the last area we explore. Or it might be a place that we continuously revisit, considering we've seen Low and Alone access this area, this desert, through a mirror that was stood in the middle of the desert that seemed to reflect the candy factory inside it until Low and Alone break through. But also, we see them back in this area, accessing it by evacuating the ship that contained the briefcases and the fat guys, that we can assume are the same briefcases and fat guys that were on the circus ship. So did we crash the circus ship into the necropolis desert and leave and find ourselves here, trapped within the spiral? Is that why it's called the spiral? You know, do we keep on circling back in around ourselves, you know, going back over the same area but just a different level of it, because we're spiraling up or we're spiraling down? Could we have been on the ship because the ship floats, and in order to access the nowhere you have to sink lower, you have to plunge, you have to sink into these tideless waters, you have to go lower, you have to go down? But we speculated earlier that in order to escape the nowhere you have to go up, which is why I thought that in Very Little Nightmares you need a hot air balloon. That's why you're trying to escape from the nowhere by going as high as you can, but you crash into the nest. And Low and Alone trying to escape the nowhere by getting on a flying ship. And that flying ship goes up there, but they get caught on board, something goes horribly wrong, and they end up crashing the ship into the necropolis and ended up in the desert. Anyway. Back to business. Now, let me just bring my chat back so I can see what you guys think of my works. You sound like a teacher in a good way. I hope so. Yes. And the crow was always watching him. Yes, the crow was always watching him. And that could be interesting as well, because the crows are... so, for just real fast... If you guys haven't already read the comics, quick spoiler alert, I'm going to show you a brief section. So there's a character depicted in the comics called the North Wind. And the North Wind is depicted in like an orange sort of like desert-like area here. This tends to be where he is. Quite similar to the necropolis. And he's characterized as like an orange wind. and you often see him surrounded by crows and the skeletons of crows. And in the necropolis, we find both live crows and collections of the skeletons of crows also. And then obviously the orange backdrop, and there are heavy winds abundant throughout as well, as is expected. Now, it could be that they are foreshadowing the North Wind being a character in this game, but it could also be a red herring. But that could absolutely be why the crows are so vital. But that's not a part of my floating ship theory for the moment. But I did expand on that theory more in a video I made called The Hostile Theories, where I considered what enemies we might get to see in Little Nightmares 3, and I covered it quite extensively. So if you guys haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out. It might be interesting to you. It's been confirmed that they're best friends. I'm pretty sure they're confirmed that they've known each other before Little Nightmares 3 takes place. Exactly what I thought. That was what I thought, Puppy Queen, when she, when Lorelei said that they've been best friends forever, and you know it was documented that they've been in there for a long time. Then it's like, well, if they've known each other for the whole time, then why was Law by himself? You know, do we get to see them meet? You know, do we get do we experience different parts of their life cycle? I don't know. I don't know the time frame. I don't know how it's going to work. It might just be that she was edited out for the trailer just to make us ask questions and look foolish online while keep us asking questions while they're in the development process. I don't know. You're saying that the funfair crashed into the desert, potentially, because if the funfair was on a ship and we were just on the ship, and then upon exiting the ship we find dead guests that were at the funfair and their luggage destroyed by the wreckage of a ship in the desert after Law was out cold on the ship, as he might be after having crashed the thing into the ground from the air. Bandai website does say that it's the first chapter. See, yeah, so it could very well be the first chapter, but it might also be somewhere that we revisit throughout. We might end up coming back here. Maybe the necropolis is where the actual mystical place, because the thing is, it's the developers have stated in the character descriptions that they're seeking a mythical place, and maybe the reason they're seeking out a city powered by wind is because they associate that with moving upwards. You know, maybe there's that monument that we see in the background is conducive to this theory. Maybe the writings on the wall in the necropolis tell us something more about that. When the necropolis fades to nighttime, for instance, we end up here. Notice this point. You guys, forgive me. Let me just get my big face off here again and put the display back on for you. These drawings here now, I'm sorry, I have got this in like as high definition as I can possibly get it, but it's probably because I'm live, it'll have compressed these images. But there could be something hidden in these images here that tell us a little something about how you escape the nowhere, because there's these satellite dishes here that are depicted and beams radiating off them. But I can't make out a lot of the other drawings, and I haven't spent any time analysing these just yet, so I'm not 100% on that. But just food for thought, right? You know, it's definitely something to consider. Anyways, guys, I feel like we've covered quite a lot in this video, and I am burned out. And also, I have a very important conference call to attend very, very shortly, so I am going to have to get off. But I'm just going to read a quick couple of these last ones. Man, my mind. Yeah, Tariana, yeah. I know, that's how my mind feels all the time. And I do still have some, I have more notes. I have a lot more to cover. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Oh, yeah, there's so much fun stuff to talk about in here. But anyway, for another day, I suppose. Oh, good morning, Ash. I'm so sorry. I'm literally just about to close out the stream, but I'm so glad you can make it to at least say hi to us. Feel free to like close out and watch the VOD afterwards because we covered a lot of really interesting stuff in this one today. It's been wonderful. I've really enjoyed your company, guys. Thank you all so much for attending and spending your Saturday evening with me. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves and at least got a little something out of this. I will be expanding on all of these theories and tidbits as I often do. So yeah, stay tuned for more theory videos coming up. I'm still hard at work on a lot of good things, a lot of exciting projects. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. If you would be so kind, it would be very much appreciated. Don't forget, drop me a little like on the video to let me know if I've done a good job. It's always nice to feel validated. And yeah, I will drink some water. Well, I'll finish my cold sugary beverage first, since it's the only one I get this month. It is cheat day after all. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here. That's going to do it for me until next time. So until then, little ones, that's game over. Bye.